Is there a way to pause the recording, or do you have to stop it entirely?
It looks like there's a pause button here.
Okay.
Mine doesn't have that.
Oh, I just upgraded because there was an update.
Oh, was there?
Right. Yeah. Before you
Maybe
started.
maybe once I update at home, it'll show up. Because there are times where I'm just like, I just want to pause. I don't want to stop the whole thing because then I gotta
do the timestamps all over.
Yeah. Okay. Is you ready?
Let's do it.
Alrighty. Hello, everybody.
Yo, what's going on?
Welcome to the Anime Mystics Podcast, episode 41, I think.
Wow.
I keep losing count, but we're getting up there.
Keep making them.
Almost up to episode 50.
Oh, boy.
Man.
Oh, boy.
It's not going to be by the end of this year, I think, right? There'll be another 2, 4... Well, at least another 4 episodes.
Well, yeah.
We'll get to like 45, 46. So by February next year, we'll have our 50th episode.
We got to do something.
Didn't even think about that till just now.
Yeah. You just made everything real.
Yeah.
Goodness. All right.
Okay. So today we are going to finish off last season's show since we didn't get to talk about 2 of them.
Yes.
Because they were still airing at the time.
Yes.
And we are going to talk about a few of the shows that have aired this season.
Yes.
And give you all an update on what the schedule is going to look like for the channel now that the season has started. I think I pretty much got it figured out. I just need to upload a couple of shows that aired last season, their first episode, and see how they do, because I got to add one more show. But other than that, they're all pretty much decided. So yeah. I think basically, because a lot of you watched a bunch of these. Actually, I was kind of surprised about how many views a lot of these got. Especially one of them. One of them I wasn't expecting to get as many as it did, which was Maojo de Oisumi. As of today, it's got 355 views.
Wow,
which beats everything on here, including Dragon Quest and Golden Kamuy.
Wow. Wow. That tells me a lot after watching that show in preparation for this recording. That tells me a lot about people. They love that sadistic little brat.
So yeah, as I've been saying in the front of all of the videos, I chose like 12 shows to watch, but only like half of them, maybe 7 of them, will be reactions and the rest are going to be review. They're all pretty much decided, except for, like I said, I need one more, which is going to be after these last 3 shows, I think, are uploaded from last week. That's going to be Adachi to something. I can't remember the name of it exactly. But it's like a Yuri series. Yeah, I'll look it up. Then there's Noblesse.
Oh, yeah.
Which, just so you know, you have to look up that OVA first, because it actually does, the first episode actually does start like right after that. And that thing aired like 4 years ago. So, yeah.
I remember when I was looking up Sleepy Hime, that one came up, Noblesse, and I was like, oh, that was the one that Roman was talking about. I remember.
Yeah. So, the vampires.
Yeah, and Frankenstein.
Yeah. Although he seems to be a vampire too, but I'm not sure.
Of course.
The other show was called Adachi and Shimamura.
Okay.
Which again is a romance Yuri show. I'm not expecting it to get a lot of views, but
I mean, when you did Citrus, how was Citrus? How did that get
reacted? I actually haven't done Citrus yet.
Oh.
No, haven't done it yet. The only one I've really watched that was Yuri. Kinda. I mean, it had Yuri elements, but, was Yuri. And people like that show, so it obviously got views.
Yeah.
The other one I was starting to watch was Bloom Into You, but I haven't finished it yet.
Okay.
So once I start that back up again, we'll see how that does. But this one will probably be over before I get back to that one.
Sure.
But for now, the shows that look like they're going to get reactions: Dragon Quest, Jujutsu Kaisen, which has 85 views. It's like the lowest one out of the shows that I'm picking up right now. Higurashi no Naku Koro-ni, which is the 2020 version. Although it doesn't seem to be an, remake? we'll get into that when we talk about it some other time. Golden Kamuy Season 3, of course. Maojo de Oyasumi. And, let me see, what was that, 5?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there was another one that I am not even going to try to pronounce the name to because it's a light novel series, and you know how their titles are.
Do you love your mom and her 2-hit attacks or multi-hit attacks in another universe after you got hit by a truck reincarnated as a slime?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Basically, from what I've noticed, and I think from what someone told me in the Discord, is it's basically just like Romeo and Juliet, but dealing with like mages and stuff like that.
Interesting.
So we'll see. That one, Adachi and Shimamura and Noblesse are the ones that need to be uploaded. I'll probably decide one from those 3 once they're the views start going down. Probably be a few days. I figured most views will be in the first few days, and then after that, you know, pretty much anybody who's come to the channel to watch it has probably been there. Mm-hmm. So I'll be able to decide after, like, probably by Thursday what the final show will be. And the rest are going to be review. Couple of them I think one of them we're talking about today, which is the sports climbing girls.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think that got the lowest amount of views.
That's interesting because the designs looked good. The designs for the main girls were pretty nice, but I guess the subject itself, the wall climbing, competitive wall climbing, I guess that's kind of niche.
Market.
Yeah.
Yeah, that only got 35 views.
Mm.
Next lowest was Majo no Tabi Tabi, which I'm surprised by because I see a lot of people talking about it, at least on like Facebook. Mm-hmm. Tonikaku Kawaii, another one I'm surprised only got like 60 views.
Because that one was getting really hyped too.
Yeah, but nobody's really watching it, at least on my channel. Mm. And then I gotta release those other 3 to see what happens. But yeah. But so far, those are the ones that are gonna get reviews, which means I'm just gonna do a video after the 3rd episode and a video at the end of the season. Or if it's a show that's got 24 episodes, a mid-season review and then an end-season review when it's over. Cool. Or if it's a show like Dragon Quest by Arc. Because that's getting 100 episodes, from what I understand.
Yeah. That one, because I'm watching that one too. That one we might need to talk about every month or something.
Yeah. We're going to have to see what happens with that one.
Every other week or so. Every other episode. Yeah.
So yeah, that's what's going on with the channel for this season. Yeah, look out for videos coming this week. I got a few that I need to upload, including Dragon Quest Episode 2, Jujutsu Kaisen Episode 2, and those other 3 episodes. And I'm finally getting those Bang Dream episodes up, if any of you are still watching that. I decided for those just not to do the subtitles. I'm just leaving the subtitles visible from the actual episode, but there's no sound. Same with Noblesse, because apparently episode 0 wouldn't give me subtitles to extract, and I'm not gonna spend a half hour trying to do subtitles. So yeah, next week it'll have the black bar, but this week you're just gonna have to watch the subtitles there or get your own video, because I'm pretty sure some of them are gonna be above where the bar is. Like how sometimes they put them up at the top of the screen. Pretty sure there's a few like that.
So why did you decide to go with the black bar, not like the shining white light or Steam? Or the mosaic?
You can still kind of see other things with the mosaic, or you can kind of make it out still.
Yeah.
The black bar just makes it so you don't see anything. And I want my audience to suffer a little. They got to work to see this episode.
Got it. Okay. If you get the reference, you get the reference.
Right. That's pretty much it for the channel. Yeah. Pretty much, yeah. That's about it.
Next viewing party, Muyo to Ryoji.
First season.
This I know that Roman has been doing reactions on the second season, and from the screen caps, it looks pretty good. And obviously, the theme for October is supernatural. Mm-hmm. So this should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I was pleasantly surprised with Katana Gatari, so I'm hoping that this one is worth the hype as well. So, any info that I should be aware of before we go into this next week?
Let him know. Let me see. I think the first few episodes we're going to be watching are kind of like a Ghost of the Week thing.
Okay.
They do get into an actual story, but it's, I think about episode 6 where they actually do that in the series.
Got it.
So what we're going to be watching is more just episodic.
Got it. Okay. All right. Is this from Shonen Jump or?
I think it's a Shonen Jump series.
It is?
Let me take a look here, and I can let you know.
All right. Yeah, I'm going in completely blind. I have no idea what's going on or what to expect. So, all I know is that the French translation or the French subtitle for it, when I listed the videos on the Facebook page, it's called the Paranormal Investigation Detective Agency, and I was all like, "Oh, Yu Yu Hakusho, Spirit Detective." Okay.
Yeah, Weekly Shonen Jump.
Okay.
It is. The series is over. It has 18 volumes, so hopefully we get the rest of the series animated.
Okay.
But the full title, like you were saying, Muyo and Ryoji's Bureau of Supernatural Investigation, Magical Genius Magic Tool Master Chapter.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, the French didn't translate that last part, but yeah. Other than that, yeah, that's pretty much what I gathered from that. But yeah, we'll get the updates later today after this recording or tomorrow. So look forward to all of that, to the latest video and then the viewing party updates. And yeah, and then real brief for the future, we do have other themed plans for viewing parties. So stay up to date in the Discord, stay up to date on the YouTube channel, stay up to date on the community tab of the YouTube channel, stay up to date on Facebook, on the Facebook page.
Yes. All the social medias.
Yes. Eventually, maybe we'll even all manage somehow to get together in Genshin Impact, so we'll see how that happens. But yeah.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
So I think, yeah, right now it's kind of everything in my mobiles are pretty manageable, so yeah, hopefully.
Cool.
So, yeah, that's it for my end. All right. So I guess we're going to wrap up the summer then, right?
Yep, wrapping up summer.
All right, so we're doing God of High School?
God of High School. Well, even though there was no high school involved, really. Except for the fact that they're high school aged.
You're saying that 40-year-old dude with a dream, he didn't belong there?
That's what I'm saying.
Aw, he had a dream.
Everybody has dreams.
Yeah, he got crushed, though.
Yeah, he did.
So, I don't know. So, I want to begin by saying, well, I don't even know. Should we talk about the manga first or the anime first? Well, let's talk about the anime first, and then let me drill you a little bit, because you were the one who was egging me on about all the differences from the anime to the manga. So,
yeah, at least for some parts.
Yeah. I felt that the anime, for what it was and what it was presented as, I felt that it was pretty solid. It obviously did feel condensed,
yeah,
and rushed, but what was presented, I think to clarify, I'm focusing more so on the action scenes. The action scenes were like the saving grace, even if you're like the characters are kind of dorky or the plot line doesn't make sense, and he's running all around Seoul. And outside on the outskirts of Seoul, like, you know, it was really weird in that timing aspect. But for what it was, I'd say it was a solid 7 out of 10. But the action scenes, I think, really rewarded it. And it felt like a series that probably, at minimum, should have probably been 24, 26 episodes. Mm-hmm. But the fighting scenes, you know, coming from a studio whose only other show that I remember watching is Zombieland Saga. yeah. They did a good job. They did a solid job. So I can't even be mad at them. But there's definitely this feeling of like I'm missing something.
Yeah, that's basically the big complaint I was seeing when I would read comments. Is that a lot of stuff was getting left out. A lot of characters didn't get developed the way they were in the I guess manhwa.
Mm-hmm.
They changed certain aspects of it. There was, at least for manhwa readers, there was a lot of complaints. But for everybody else, like us who haven't read it, we just enjoyed it for what it was.
Yeah.
Some people were like, it's kind of stupid, but the fights are cool, like you said.
Yeah. Yeah. That was one of the earliest things I remember was when they did the on Crunchyroll. They did the behind the scenes in the animation studio and how they did the very early fights. When it was like the battle royale fight scene in the beginning,
Right.
The very first episode. Yeah, they were kind of doing that, like how they animated it and all of that, and it looked really good.
Yeah.
They put a lot of effort, and then, they went back to almost like the single cell style that they just don't do these days because everything is pretty much on tablets and computers now. But they did the cell by cell stuff, so yeah, I respected that, and you could see too because it showed in the animation and the fluid, and I'm gonna probably bring this up again during Dragon Quest, but they did the whole like panning the camera thing that Ufotable kind of popularized. Now everyone's doing it, but it works.
Yeah,
it works.
Done right.
Yeah,
it works really good.
I don't know if it was you or if it was someone else that was telling me that most of the best fight scenes happen like off screen, and during the manga, I should say.
I think that might have been someone else. Okay. I know I mentioned a fight scene that happens, but I don't think I said that
okay.
exactly.
Okay, yeah, it was basically like a flash of light or something, and the next scene is like, dude is just floored.
Yeah. What do you think of like the characters? How would you?
So, I mean, I think that, well, obviously the supporting cast, like the whole Sikh organization, the guys that were putting on the actual tournament, who knows? They had like kind of personality. It was like the one guy who always got his paycheck docked, but they never fired him. So it was kind of like, okay. And then you had the other one who like enjoyed his misery, and it was like, okay. And then we had the nurse who seemed pretty cool. She could make marionettes that bleed.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't think that's an OP power, like, come on now. But that was like it. What's their motivations? We don't know where they came from, who brought them together, why do they exist, what's going on, what's their sole purpose? Their sole purpose is just to be all like, not today, and then... But the original three, so I don't know if this was intentional on Roman's behalf, but he knew how to trigger me because I always said that I liked characters like Yumita because it was like we finally get badass chicks and we need more of those. Right. That's right. I'm saying that unironically. And so it was like, cool. And then Roman goes, oh, by the way, she was the one who punked Amaterasu in the manhwa. And I'm like, what? And
yeah.
In the anime, obviously, they gave it to Jin Mori. And I was like, why? To be fair, though, I don't know what was the motivation to letting you beat him in the manhwa. I don't know what's the setup for that. Like, because... I don't know. Again, I don't know what was left out in the manhwa.
He's here, so I'm gonna go.
Okay.
Do a thing real quick. Want to pause it or?
Yeah, go ahead and pause it. I collect my thought.
All right.
So, yeah, like, without going into the series, having read the manhwa before all of this, it's hard to know why Yumita needed to be the one to beat Amaterasu. And, like, did she do it to unlock her Chariok? Which is Lubu, which I thought was pretty funny, but, apparently there's a lot of crossover between Chinese and Korean mythologies, so that was fascinating.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, like, apparently they said even, in Japanese mythology, too, because they said the Korean version of Kyuubi was really, like, whack and intense, so... Yeah, that was interesting.
Okay.
I don't know the specifics, but I just know that apparently they said the Korean interpretation of the QB mythology was like way intense.
Wow.
But yeah, it was like, why would you take that away from Yumita, especially since she didn't really have a big epic battle though, since I mean she beat the swimmer guy and that was cool, but I really remember the wrestling chick that she beat up.
Yeah. Poor wrestling chick.
Yeah. I mean that was like her highlight. But yeah, man, it was really bizarre. And I know most people would be, just go read the manga. Just go read the manga. And I'm like, I don't have time for that. So I watched the anime. Well, read the manga, read the subtitles.
From what I understand, because after I saw it, I was like, well, I've already been spoiled. I might as well keep reading.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the way it worked was Han was still suspended.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was actually out of the tournament for the whole rest of it after he, I guess, interrupted that fight or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't like in the anime where they're like, oh, if your guy doesn't show up then after your match, then you forfeit. It was like you can keep going, and as long as you keep winning, you can keep going on to the next round.
Yeah,
whatever. Just as long as somebody is available to fight.
It's King of Fighters rules.
Yeah,
yeah.
But they changed it for the anime where it was like, if what was it? Jin doesn't show up by the time your match is over, then you forfeit because nobody's here to fight. They could have let Mira continue in the manhwa. That's how it would have gone. And I guess in that part of the tournament where they're fighting Ninetales, Jin lost, so Mira actually needed to win so they can continue going forward. I think she had won her fight before. And then Jin lost the fight with the Ninetales, and she had to come in and fight him to keep them alive in the tournament. So, also, it seemed like she didn't have her sword yet at this point.
Okay.
Like, when they showed her get her sword, it was on a wall that looked like a museum.
Okay.
And then it, like, shows this guy walk by the sword, and then he's passing by it, and it's gone off the wall, and then she's got it in her hand, and then she beats him. So I'm like, okay, that was different too, because she got her sword from that swimmer dude.
Yeah.
In the anime.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the whole deal was. Like I said, I want to do a whole comparison thing and actually read the manhwa and see what was different, at least up to where the anime ended,
right?
So that I can compare a bit and see like what they actually changed, because that's a big change.
Yeah, complete changes. Those are multiple changes.
So, yeah, I want to see what exactly they changed and maybe what they kept the same. I'm sure a lot of it was similar.
Yeah,
but apparently they changed quite a bit. So I want to kind of see what they did and maybe compare on one of these podcasts or something.
Okay,
sometime down the line.
I'm going to rely on you then. You're going to have to educate me on all that. So was the ending the same, though, where they're fighting the dude in the middle of the Korean wasteland? And then they summon Shenlong comes in and gives him a wish with the Dragon Balls?
I believe he does reveal that he's the Monkey King during that fight.
Okay.
Because I during the fight when he did it during the anime, they were like, you did it too soon. He wasn't supposed to do it yet.
Right.
Because, I mean, he loses.
Right.
So, I mean, how's he going to turn into the Monkey King and lose, you know? But, yeah, I guess he does reveal during his fight with whatever that dude's name was.
Shark Man?
Yeah, Shark Man. that he's the Monkey King.
Okay.
They had a different name for him, didn't they? Because it wasn't Son Goku or Sun Wukong. It was something else.
Yeah. I assumed it was the Korean interpretation of the name. But but in the manhwa, at least from what you can remember, though, was that all like the aftermath of them beating the dude? And remember, and Jin was just like, "Oh, my wish, my number one wish is just to heal everybody." Did that all still happen?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know about that one.
Okay.
But I do know they are going to continue. They continue the story after that. So I'm pretty sure it's the same, where he's looking for his grandfather and trying to figure out his like what's going on with him and the Monkey King thing. I did think it was pretty cool, like seeing all the Dragon Ball type references. I know it's not a reference to Dragon Ball, like it's part of the actual legend for Sun Wukong.
Yeah.
The Nimbus Cloud and his staff.
Yeah.
But I learned all of that through Dragon Ball.
Right.
So for me, I was like, oh, he's got Goku's staff and he's got the Nimbus, and it's not the Nimbus Goku had because Goku just rode on it.
Right.
In this, it was like shooting lightning out of the sky, and I was like, man, this one's a lot more hardcore than Goku's.
Yeah, and what's funny is that DBZ has basically corrupted that poor legend for the rest of eternity. Because now everyone's going to be like, yo, Goku! And if Goku sucks for some reason, they'll be like, this Goku weak.
Like I know, what was that? Was it Sayuki?
Mm-hmm.
That was also based off of
Journey to the West.
Because they had Son Goku in that too.
Yep.
I never watched that one, but I knew it was based off of that too. Because I remember seeing the name and I was like, oh, Goku? What's up with that? And they're like, oh, it's based off of this, same as Dragon Ball. And I was like, oh, okay, cool.
That one that wasn't the Flying Nimbus was the Jeep.
Oh, was it?
I assumed so. I assumed so.
Again, I never watched it, so I don't know. One of these days I might check it out just because.
Vintage times.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do a vintage anime reaction or something. I still got your Bubblegum Crisis, by the the Maybe I should do that. You should watch that. You should do it for a Cyberpunk thing right before the Cyberpunk releases. There you go. We'll do Ghost in the Shell, Bubblegum Crisis. When is that?
Next year, I think. I think April.
That's one with Keanu Reeves, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Keanu Reeves. Johnny Mnemonic.
He's got a Papa Parade figure coming out.
Yes.
Keanu Reeves has been immortalized in the anime world with a figure, so be sure to buy it.
Can he beat Goku, though?
No.
Yeah, it's and that's also kind of where I don't understand the power difference too, because it's like, okay, you got Goku, and then you've got Lu Bu, and it's like, I think Goku might be a bit stronger than Lu Bu, because Lu Bu's that thing. What do we call him? Human. Mm-hmm. So, but I mean, yeah, we're talking about people that said that Lu Bu could beat Ryu Hayabusa, the Ninja Gaiden. And I was all like, dude, Hayabusa in the ones that came out on PS3 and Xbox 360, he shoots dragons with his ki, with his ninjutsu. He is like Art of the Invincible Fire Wheel. And then one dude is all like, it's gonna be a long and bloody battle, but I think Lu Bu could beat Hayabusa. I'm like, oh my goodness. And I was all like, dude, and don't get me wrong, I hold Lu Bu in very high regard. Lu Bu was like 7'2" and red hair, could run 300 miles a day, which is basically the distance of the Bay Area to Los Angeles, before he gets tired. And so I respect and revere everything that Lu Bu accomplished as a warrior, but he was still a man. At the end of the day, he was executed, and they dragged him away kicking and screaming. All right? So, to say that he's on the same level as, like, Goku, a mythological figure who he beat up gods.
Yeah.
You know? And what, they had to, what was it? They had to unleash, oh man, the name eludes me. But I mean, at the end, Sanzang just put a crown on him and then made it, that settled that.
Here, put this on.
Yeah. Nezha. They had to unleash Nezha in her thighs.
Oh, Nezha. I was going to say Nezha.
Yeah. But you can't say that around her. She gets confused.
I did watch the Chinese movie, the animated one for Nezha.
Any relation to God of High School?
No relation yet. I think it just went through the first part of Nezha's story.
Okay.
Where, I guess, their soul is trapped in that egg or whatever it is. And they haven't been resurrected yet.
They're reincarnated?
Yeah. But apparently it was the highest grossing Chinese movie in China, so.
Impressive.
The CG was really good, too.
Really?
Yeah.
We need more of that. We need to get rid of this Disney stuff.
Although it was weird watching it in Chinese. I'm gonna be honest, Chinese isn't one of my favorite languages.
Oh.
So But you get used to it. You know, I'm used to listening to Japanese and Korean. I don't really watch Chinese movies in Chinese that often. So when I do, it's like, man, I gotta get used to this.
Mm-hmm.
After about 10 minutes, I was like, okay, I'm good. This is cool.
He only says that because Aoi Yuki wasn't in it. He's like, okay, 10 minutes, no Aoi Yuki, I can dig it.
Yeah, she'd probably be Neza, and I'd be like, such a boring character now.
Oh, man. No, dude, Hayami Saori is like at least in Dragon Quest, and she's in the third season of Fire Force too. So I'm like, she's getting around.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Hayami Saori is like in everything. But yeah, moving on though, back to God of High School. So yeah, it's interesting in the premise that they're using these characters and bringing them about, and it's more so I think the higher or better their lore, the stronger that they are. But I don't know. It's also like I said, it's the power creep. The difference is, so and on top of that too, Goku, he beat armies of the gods too. So whereas Lu Bu might have just fought a couple of dudes in duels. Really, his style was more like drive-by because he was considered cavalry because obviously he led, he had his horse and he was like, general of the rear guard. But, he would just kind of come down, and if you were in his way, he either swung at you with his halberd. And I don't know if you ever saw like Lu Bu's halberd. Well, you played FGO, so if you've ever seen it, it's got the pike, and then on each side is a blade because the idea is that when you're on horseback and you swing it, that blade, catches you like that.
Yeah.
Or, if he swipes sideways, you're getting cut. So he can thrust, he can swipe horizontally, or he can swipe like underhand. So.
He had 3 ways of attack.
Pretty much. And he never has to dismount. So, and on top of that too, he was also a badass with archery and horseback archery. So when when you're playing Ocarina of Time and you're like, horseback archery sucks, and it's like, well, Lu Bu could do it with his eyes closed.
I didn't have any issue with horseback archery.
Me neither. It was actually pretty fun.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he was a master out of all of that, so. But, again, Goku with all his tools and his martial arts and all that, I would think he would just wipe the floor with Lu Bu, but.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, what was it in this? It wasn't even that it was Choryuk. He was actually Son Goku. He was actually the Monkey King.
Right.
So, yeah. I don't know how that works. Like, was he resurrected? Or, because, I mean, he was a child with his grandfather.
Right. Maybe he's 1 month old.
Which was also another parallel with Dragon Ball, because Goku in that lived with his grandfather until he accidentally killed him.
Really? Is that really what happened?
Yeah, one night during the full moon, he turned into the great ape and stepped on him.
That's actually much more brutal than I remember that show being. Jeez.
Yeah, Goku doesn't remember it. He just... Because he loses... When you turn into the great ape, you lose control of your mind. You don't remember much of anything.
Right.
So when he passed out after changing back, he just found his grandfather dead. Didn't know what happened.
And he just walked away?
Well, he buried him and everything, and then he just continued living his life near where his grandfather lived. Yeah. I mean, he had no clues, really, except that there were, like, some huge footsteps, but...
That's a lot more dark than I remember Dragon Ball being.
Yeah, I mean...
I always remember just Goku being, like, a dirty little kid.
Nah, Goku wasn't dirty.
He's always trying to check out Bulma's underwear and everything.
No, she offers, but he's always like, I don't want to look at your dirty underwear. Like, I remember in one, I think it was a 10th anniversary one, where it was basically a retelling of the first few arcs of Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
All the way up to the Red Ribbon Army.
Yeah.
When she meets him, she's trying to convince him to join her on her quest.
Right.
And she was like, oh, I see what you want. And she starts trying to lift her skirt up, like, you want to see... And he goes, why would I want to look at your dirty butt? She's just like, it's not dirty.
Thought.
The only time he ever did anything like that was he was remembering how when he was with his grandfather, he would sleep in like his lap.
Yeah.
Like with his head up against the crotch
area.
So he tried to do that with Bulma, but he didn't feel anything there. So he was kind of confused because he's never seen female before.
Right.
So while she was asleep, he just pulls her underwear off, and then he like freaks out because there's nothing down there.
This is an all ages anime, by the way. All ages show.
Yeah. Yeah, he freaked out. I think it was like screaming like, "No balls!" And Bulma kind of mistook it as like, "No Dragon Balls." Like somebody stole them. So she went to check, and they were still there. So she's like, "What is he talking about?" Well, whatever.
We're gonna talk. It's funny that you bring up Bulma because I know her more so by her real name of Sanzong, but we'll talk about that in ReZero. But anywho, yeah. So I don't know. I think we're making all these parallels to Dragon Ball, but again, it's like that's when everyone starts talking about Goku by instinct, everyone just goes to Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
And obviously Roman paid way more attention to Dragon Ball than I did, so I follow his lead. I leave it to him.
It's kind of funny because I never actually watched the original, but I know a lot of what happened in it.
Would you ever read the Dragon Ball manga?
Oh, yeah. I'd read it. I mean, considering that it would be completely Toriyama's vision of Dragon Ball, then yeah. It'd be like me reading the Yu-Gi-Oh manga, because that is much different from the anime.
Yes, correct.
So, it was actually a lot darker than I thought, because I was like, a card game, what can happen here? And you got little kids pooping on people and death and all kinds of stuff. I'm like, wow, Yu-Gi-Oh is a little hardcore.
Yeah, you thought it was just Egyptian card games.
Yeah, in the Shadow Realm.
No. Yeah. Banished.
Yeah.
Fail for my trap card. Now it has double meaning.
I know, right?
Yeah. I think we're trailing off because I think we've run out of what to say about God of High School. Because it's like, it was... I think we can summarize it with just excellent fight scenes and a story that's all over the place.
Yeah.
But it has great concepts, so we'll see. I think if they give them a bigger budget and they can expand the storyline and not condense it, we'll see. I'm still going to watch season 2. I'm still interested. I think they've created a good lore in the anime. But, and I'll also wait to see your take on... Maybe that's what we'll do in prep for season 2 if you ever get to the manhwa and you can just catch us up with the differences.
Yeah, from what I understand, it goes up to 110, where the end of the anime went.
Jeez.
So they condensed 110 chapters into 13 episodes.
13, yeah. Jeez.
So I can understand what a lot of the manhwa readers are saying when they're like, it should have been 24 or 26 episodes.
Yeah.
But then I'm also like, they do this to manga all the time, too. So welcome to our world. Where we're complaining that they should have made a series longer because they could have got more in there.
So
you're not special manhwa readers.
With your webtoons. So to wrap it all up, like I said 7 out of 10. What's your score?
Yeah, I'd give it a 7. I thought it was good. The fight scenes were really cool. The animation was really good, like a lot of the times. Except for like those down times, there was nothing really going on. They didn't really need to focus on the animation too much.
The 33-year-old high school dude?
Right. Like
He's working his construction job, living his dreams. Living his best life.
Of not just getting his GED and going to college.
Hey, rock on, brother. You do you.
Right?
That's right. Not all of us were meant to go to college. We'll shine in our own ways.
I guess so. And your shine was getting beat up by Han, so...
An actual high schooler? Maybe I should have got that GED after all. Anyway.
You supposedly had Mjolnir, and you lost. Thor's hammer.
Thor.
At least that's what he called it.
Yeah.
Whether it was actually Mjolnir or not, I doubt it. It just looked like it was made out of cement.
Asgardian cement.
Right?
Oh, man.
Asgardian cement made out of a dying star or something like that.
Oh, MCU. All right. We're getting way off track now. Okay, so final verdict.
7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Season 2, yes or no?
I'd watch the second season,
okay.
But I'm also not 100% sure they're even going to do one.
Fair.
Because this could just be a way for them to be like, go read the manhwa. Go watch webtoons or whatever it is.
Go. Fair enough.
I'm still on the fence about the Tower of God, if that's going to get a second season.
Roman just really wants to hit on Rachel again.
I don't need a second season to do that. Just bring her up.
All right. Okay, I'm instigating now. But all right, so you have to throw one off the cliff. One lives, one dies. So one gives you the soul stone. Who do you throw, Rachel or Mommy?
Right? Well, I mean, you only get the Soul Stone if you throw off somebody you really care about, and I don't care about either of them. So
Okay, you don't have to care about either one of them. You got to throw one off.
Okay, so just no stipulation.
No,
just
yeah,
throw one off
kill
for somebody
for the Soul Stone. Yeah.
I don't know. I think I got to go with. That's a tough one, actually. It's like on one hand you got Rachel who thinks she killed somebody, but you got Mommy over here who's just like trying to ruin somebody's love life because she's jealous or upset that he found somebody a month after they broke up. I think I just get rid of Rachel because she actually tried to kill someone.
Okay. All right.
She tried to kill him. I mean, I know she was trying to do everything she could to kind of avoid it. She could have just not done it.
Correct.
And just not gone into the tower, but
all right,
she did.
Then Rachel gives you the Soul Stone.
Yeah. A corrupted soul, but okay.
Unfortunately for you, we're now in the world of ReZero, and now Rachel returns because she has the return by death ability.
Oh, so I could just torture her whenever I want?
Well, you wouldn't have any knowledge of it, so you would just be living again. You would just be living. So I know I gave Roman a bunch of crap over this entire season because, I had no idea that Echidna would be such a wonderful character. But here's the thing. I'm kind of also intrigued as to whether I enjoyed the character because of the way the character was developed and displayed, or if it's just because of Maya Sakamoto's performance.
It might just be the performance, I think.
Yeah.
And maybe the memes.
The memes were wonderful. The body tea, all the bullying Echidna, the making her look like Uzaki. I mean, there was a bunch of good memes. And it was kind of like whenever she was off screen, it was like, okay, this is nice, and I get the world building and the story. Could that go back to Echidna's tea party now? But yeah, man, when she did that speech, I think it was like on the 10th episode or the 9th episode, where she was just basically giving off her whole motivation, and then it was revealed she just did that in one take. It's just like, jeez.
12th episode.
It was the final...
Second to last.
The second, yeah, so...
Because that was when she was trying to convince him to sign a contract.
Right. Okay, so that was
the second to last episode.
Right.
Yeah, she did that in the first take.
Yeah, just killed it. And it was like, well, damn. But obviously she stole the show. She was the highlight. It was probably why they didn't put Rem in it. It's because, well, I know that for story purposes, Rem was out of it. But if you would have had Inoue going up against Maya Sakamoto like that, everyone would have jumped ship. Everyone would have been like Roman unironically. Who's Rem? Echidna?
Who?
Exactly. But yeah, so I did not expect such a character coming out. And I'll be honest with you, I honestly thought it was just going to be Emilia Alter. Because it looked pretty much the same character to me. Maybe it was the limitations on the artist that he just couldn't figure out another design. I honestly thought they were going to be the same character, like an evil sister, or I'm Emilia's evilness spawned off from her side.
Yeah, it turns out that's Satella.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that was unexpected but pleasantly received. I enjoyed it, and then that's why now I'm all Team Echidna. I got the Nendo on order and everything, so it's like
I did find it funny that after that episode, she started dropping on the polls.
Oh, after she was number 1?
She was number 1, then she went to number 3, and I think she ended at number 5.
Yeah. Still top 5, though.
Yeah. But she was dropping. Like, if they would have done that, like, a few episodes earlier.
Oh, yeah. When revealed her true motivations.
And then what? Emilia started going back up on the poll, and she wasn't even in the episodes.
Yeah. Well, I guess because they couldn't vote for Satella, so they just voted for Emilia.
Which, by the way, gonna have to have words with the dude from the Discord, because he was all going on like, this is Emilia's season, everybody's gonna see what's so great about her, and she was barely even in it.
True.
At least this half.
True. Maybe
Maybe the second half she's got a bigger part,
right.
I'm hoping.
Right.
But, yeah. basically, you didn't do Amelia any favors, production company or author.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was already saying that she doesn't do much, and you barely gave her anything to do in this half of the second season.
It could have been story and world building, it seems like, because Ram got way more screen time, and obviously Echidna got more screen time. But again, I think the witches are gone now, right? Like, they're just... Do they even come back after this?
Oh, I have no idea.
Okay, yeah, it seems like they don't. Like, they're just done.
So I'm not going to get any more of Sunsang?
Oh, we'll come back to Minerva and the others, because... Yeah. I actually thought it was going to come down to those two. Like, specifically regarding the witches, I thought everyone was going to be either, like, Team Echidna or Team Minerva. But then some fools are coming, like, Team Typhon! Like, what? Excuse me? And then, was it Sekhmet? The sloth one? Yeah. So we'll come back to all the witches. It really felt like they were shifting the focus away from Amelia and Rem. I guess they memed that to hell and back on the last season. So they were like, yeah, we got other characters in this show, right? And what's funny, too, is that even, like, right out the gate, they shoved, like, they got rid of Felix. They got rid of, what's her name? The green-haired one.
Oh, I can never... Oh,
yeah. The Cruz. They got it, like, all those people from season 1, they were just kind of like, you had your time to shine. Now we're moving on. We're going to start talking about other people, the other people we neglected to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So,
even Otto got better.
Yeah.
Like, screen time than
a
lot of characters.
Yep, Otto got some screen time. Elsa came back out of nowhere. Stabby stab.
Yeah.
So, and I honestly was curious about her, because I was all like, I thought she was just an assassin, but she's just murdering everybody. I thought there was limitations. It's like... I thought that supernatural creatures had some sort of resistance or something. It's like, nah, she just stab everybody.
Oh, you're talking about Beatrice?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought there would be something. Like, I thought spirits would have some kind of, want to guard against maybe just getting stabbed.
Right, yeah. And she didn't have, like, enchanted blades or nothing. She was just like, stabby stab.
Then again, it also could have been because Beatrice just wanted to die.
Maybe. It's true. Echidna did nothing wrong.
Which... Oh, yeah, I was about to say. I was going to say.
It shouldn't have brought up, like, it felt like that South Park episode with the apple and the terms of service. You didn't read the terms of service! Oh, why didn't you read the terms of service? That's kind of how it felt like that. Like, it shouldn't have told Beatrice everything that's going down, It's all like, I will give you all the knowledge of the world. Just sign right here. By the way, you're going to live with me forever. Oh, I just got to live with you forever. Sounds like a deal. And you signed it. I was like, oh, why'd you sign it? You didn't read the terms of service. You signed that episode, right? Or at least you know.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Okay. I was all like, Rowan's giving me this blank stare like, what?
It's when they're doing the Human Centipede parody.
Yes.
Where they're the new iPad or something.
Yes, exactly.
And the Japanese guy keeps going, oh, I'm sorry, Kyle. I didn't mean to. I didn't want to, but... Oh my god.
That's Beatrice to Subaru. It's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I didn't mean for you to keep killing yourself to save me.
But I mean, okay. Subaru was stupid, I'm gonna say. Because I'm glad the witches interfered. Because she only told him what he wanted to hear, which was the good parts of it. He never asked, so what's negative about this?
Mm-hmm.
What are the downsides? Always ask what the downsides are. If something sounds too good, it's too good. Yeah. Always ask. And keep going, because apparently even when she did kind of get into it, they were like, oh, she's not telling you everything. She's still hiding stuff from you.
Yeah. That's why everyone jumped on the Minerva train, because I don't know what she is. She's not quite tsundere, but she's also not quite, like, I don't know, like, Rem level, like, infatuated either, but she, like, saved him from himself by kicking his ass.
Headbutted him.
Yeah, she ordered him. I thought that was great. That was fantastic. So, it's the same voice actress as Sanzang from FGO, from Fate. And so if you're looking forward to the Camelot OVA movie next year, December if you're in Japan, But yeah, she's, Sanzang is a prominent character in that OVA, in that story arc, so you'll be getting a lot of her.
Yes.
And her attack in that game is literally like, ora, 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 ora. So when she did ora, 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 ora and ReZero to Subaru, I was kind of like, oh, this is great. This is fantastic. And she has the same voice, too. It was perfect. But yeah, it was, it was like, so the same thing. It was the same effect that I had with Echidna. At first, I was just kind of like, those eyebrows. But it was like, okay, but she's still kind of fun, and it's fun to, whenever she got teased, like, she's like, I have all these wonderful things, and Subaru's all, like, not interested, and she's like, and she's all shocked. Like, are you dumb? What? So I thought that was pretty good, but Sanzang is like, I didn't beat you up because I like you or anything, and I'm like, I don't know if that's tsundere. And then when she did the hurdle, when she was stomping the ground because she represents, was it anger?
Yeah, what is she? Was Wrath?
Wrath, there it is. So I didn't want to say rage. It was Wrath. Yeah, she was Wrath. But she's like doing everything except Wrath. Because she's not as like, her attacks give off little hearts and everything. And I'm like, this doesn't seem angry at all to me. She's too adorable. This is too fantastic. So, yeah. And then her design is the one that tipped me off. That something's up with this character design is like, oh yeah, it's the same one from Conception, the same character artist. And then it turns out that this dude is like, or I don't know, dude or dudette, is super big time character designer. And I was like, oh. So, and the designs obviously changed a lot from the light novel to the anime, but they still pretty much kept them fairly consistent. They upgraded Echidna in the right places, but so yeah. But yeah, Roman was the first one who came out, and it was all like, oh yeah, no, I'm Team Minerva, and I was all like, Team Minerva. Oh yeah, this is Roman's type.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Well, let's face it, I got a lot of types, but she fit one of them.
Yeah, no, that's we might disagree on Emilia, but I think everyone can come together on Team Minerva.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I still think that Emilia is Takashi Rie's weakest role to date, but that's
you haven't seen Isekai Cheat Magician, so
okay, I'll take that. I'll accept that. You got me there. I have not, and I have heard that show is kind of so
yeah,
but what you also said was correct, that she did climb up on the charts because Echidna turns out that she's a used car salesman. Oh yeah, this car's great. It's got 4 wheels and it drives. Look, it's got a cassette player, it plays music, and it's got windows. The windows don't roll up, but it's got windows. Yeah. And it's all like, yeah, and then you buy the car and then you realize it's just duct taped together. It's basically what was going on. Yeah, it's basically what was going on.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm the only one who felt this way. But this arc just made me feel even worse for Emilia. Because, I mean, you have, what's his name? Roswell?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently he knows Subaru can go back in time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he doesn't know how, but he knows he could do it. One, he's like manipulating everything that's been going on this entire time, except for maybe with the witch's cult. I don't know if he did that.
No, I don't think he did.
But he did hire the assassins to go attack the mansion. Apparently, in that episode where Emilia was basically driven crazy, he was involved with that. Basically, he's just trying to drive her in a corner and make her like life miserable, even though he's supposed to be like her sponsor and helping her become ruler of this kingdom.
Yes. Instead,
he's using her for his own goal and trying to just drive her crazy.
So my takeaway from it was that he wants Subaru to be better. So probably because he's also trying to get released from his contract. That's what I took it as. Because he keeps, he told him, he's like, I want you to be better. I don't want you to give up like I give up or I gave up.
He wants him to be like him.
Right.
Which is how? A psycho?
Well, I think that just like Beatrice, I think he didn't read the terms of service. That was what my takeaways were. And that he knows that Barasu has the return by death, so his way out is basically to get Barasu to beat everything. And if he can't take all these trials, then, he's never going to be freed from it. That was my takeaway from it. I think it was beyond what was going on there. And to prove his point, he just straight up murders Ram. I was all like, what? 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 Yeah, it's my number one groupie. I just killed her. Get wrecked. I was like, oh. Okay. Did you notice too when he was doing that, he stopped singing?
He did that when he was talking to him in the final episode too.
Yeah.
He just started talking normally. I did spoil myself a bit about Roswell, so I know a little more about him than,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, apparently he's like, what did he say? He's 400 years old, at least?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
This was completely not spoken of in Isekai Quartet.
No, it was not.
So...
This is information that they should have given us in preparation for this season.
Yeah.
And they failed.
Yeah.
Ein should have told us something. He knows all.
Yeah.
Just ask Demiurge.
Sasugana, Ein-sama. But yeah, that part kind of jacked me up too. It was like, that where he just commits murder. And he's all like, oh, by the way, clean that up for me, okay? I'm going to go get eaten by these rabbits.
Just get eaten.
I will admit, too, that when it shouldn't have made him view all the alternate realities, because they did actually... That came up one time when I was just wondering out loud, and I'm like, I wonder if they ever revisit all the alternate realities of all the times he just killed himself. And sure enough, they brought that up.
But they also said that might not even have happened.
Yeah, no, we know. We know.
Although, going by what Minerva kind of said, it did kind of happen?
Yeah.
That all that really was how it went down after he killed himself?
Yeah. All the alternate realities, basically.
Yeah. I kind of expected Satella to say something, but no, it was Minerva that brought it up.
Minerva's best bro.
I know, right? She'll punch you out of love.
Yeah. With the hearts and the beams and all that. So, it's just a good character. It's a good character, good design. Her heart's in the right place. So, and
her fist.
Yeah. It's like, it's hard to take her as Wrath when she's just so adorable. Ooh, so cute. But yeah.
But she's always so angry.
She's just so angry. Just stomping the ground, making her mini earthquakes. And then she does the superhero landing. I was like, she do a superhero landing?
No, it's bad on the knees.
Yeah.
Very impractical.
Yeah. Yeah, there was and what's funny too, we completely forgot about Subaru's parents. That was like so long ago too.
Yeah. I mean, what was the point of him doing that if he was just still going to think that everybody that was around him didn't like him?
Right. Yeah. There was
I kind of understand Ram. But everybody?
Ram, by the way, even if she became a grandmother, would still be the cutest grandmother around.
Nah.
It's true fact.
Simpiest grandmother.
True, I would simp for Ram. Absolutely.
No, I mean, she's a simp. For Roswell.
I mean, female simps do exist. Female simps do exist. So,
the Simp sisters.
There you go.
One for Roswell, one for Subaru.
Barasu.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense. It's in the blood. But yeah, that's yeah, it was yeah. It's just, it was like, and what's funny is that you mentioned that you felt bad for Subaru, or that he didn't. Some people said this was his development, and now you're saying he wasn't developed. I'm kind of in the middle. I think that he didn't really obtain anything. I think that's also because after what happened in the first 26 episodes, it was like you saw him gradually get better and solve everything. And now, we had, 14 episodes? 12 episodes? 13 episodes?
13 episodes.
13 episodes. And we're still in the same spot.
Yeah,
we haven't resolved anything. Yeah.
But it's also kind of on Roswell, too.
Right.
Because he's trying to make him choose. Either help Amelia or save the people at the mansion.
Right.
Can't do both. What are you going to do? Should just do what I keep telling him to do.
Stay with Amelia?
No. You don't need to stay with Amelia. What was his whole thing? I'll just do it for her. Every time she has like something difficult, it's like, I'll just do it for her. I'll just make sure it's done and I'll do it. She's never going to grow that way, Subaru.
Yeah, I was about to say that she's...
Just kind of tell her that you've got her back, you know, that she can handle it, that she could do it. Give her a bunch of confidence, you know? Let her handle the thing with the trial. And you go to the mansion and handle that.
It doesn't typically work out for him, but...
Well, he hasn't exactly tried it, has he?
No.
Every time he's, like, talking about Amelia, it's like, I gotta do this for her. You don't have to do everything for her. She can handle things. Let her do it.
You know what's funny is that when you put it in that context, that was actually my biggest, and still to this day, issue with the original Fate Stay Night with Shido and Saber, like Artoria Saber, is because it was just like that. It was like Shido is always like, I must fight to protect Saber, and then he just gets his ass kicked, and then Saber barely wins.
It's like, dude, she's King Arthur.
Right.
Shut up.
And she can shoot, like, 20-foot tall beams and nuke people. And she's the one doing all the heavy lifting, and all you do is just go get in the way.
Like, no, you're a female. You can't fight.
I'm the hero. Let me fight for you and do everything. And it's like, you don't know anything about what's going on. And you
were
just
brought into this, dude.
Right.
By accident.
Right. Right. And both scenarios as well. And it frustrated me. It's not really frustrating me to the extent that ReZero is. I think Barasu is a bit more tolerable than Shudo is. But at the same time, too, a lot of people also, and I agree with, say that Fate Stay Night, at least how it was presented in the original Studio Dean anime, was the weakest portrayal of it.
Right.
Because they also, that same animation studio did the Unlimited Blade Works movie, which a lot of people said, okay, this is much better. But that was a different route. So maybe if someone else ever did a retelling of the original Saber Shido story, it might be better. But until now, they're both kind of dorks, Shido and Subaru. But like I said, at the same time, it was like the other 26 episodes or whatever, we got, he figured it out, and here we got 13 episodes in, and we're on the verge of part 2, and we're still in the forest.
Right.
But at least we discovered the witches, and hey, they're fun.
Yeah. Except for Gluttony, she's creepy.
Yeah, making killer rabbits and killer whales and stuff.
Yeah. Although, we do have to thank her for stepping on that little witch, for trying to stop them from saving Subaru.
Oh, right.
Who was that?
The lowly?
Yeah, the lowly.
Tupon?
That's in
Typon?
that's in like the kind of see-through dress.
Yeah. So so that's a Final Fantasy thing. I think in Final Fantasy 6, I think they called it Tupon, and then when they brought him back for Final Fantasy 7, I think they called it Typhon, and I think it was supposed to be Typhoon.
Well, I know Typhon is a mythological being in Greek mythology.
Okay, then maybe it was supposed to be Typhon.
It's like the father of all monsters or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. And so in 6 and 7, it was a summoning.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tupon, I think, was like earth and wind elemental.
Right.
And then in 7, remember, you had to go back to Cosmos Canyon to get it?
Yeah.
And that was the reference. It was a 6 reference in 7.
Okay.
So, well, in 6 it was a boss.
Oh, was it?
It was a boss in 6, and then it was a summon in 7.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was because of the localization. They called it Tupon.
Tupon.
Yeah, Tupon. This was in the super version.
Tupon.
Exactly. If you get that joke, you're old as us.
Yeah, I don't think they play commercials for that anymore.
But yeah, no, and that makes sense too, because a lot of them were like didn't really make sense. Like Minerva, okay, that's Greek or Roman. That's Roman.
No, it's not me.
Minerva? The name? Was it Greek or Roman?
No, I said it's not me.
Oh. God. This is why nobody likes you, Barasu. Anyways.
It's like whenever you talk about Roman Reigns and you just say, God, Roman's so horrible. And I'm like, what did I do?
Can't believe you brought that up. He's actually doing very well now that they made him a heel. And they're letting Paul Heyman work with him. Oh. So Roman Reigns is apparently doing much better.
He just needed to be a bad guy?
Pretty much. It's usually the answer to everything. When people get stale, just flip them.
Well, nobody really liked him too much anyway, so...
What do you got to lose, right?
Right. But
yeah. That's what we're going to do for Roman, by the way. Spoiler alert, we're going to flip Roman. He's going to be a bad guy. And he's going to start liking just awful, terrible waifus.
Yeah. Mommy for life. Gonna get it tattooed on my arm.
He's gonna change his screen name to Mendoxai, liar. He's gonna come out in the Fate Discord and be like, "I love Liz."
Oh god, I wouldn't go that far.
He has limits. Oh man.
Yeah, there's limits to my evil. That goes way past it.
He's gonna come out like Abigail Williams in the Penthesilea comics. I'm a bad girl. Abby, time for bed. No, and then she gets like, yeah. So, yeah. Sanzang does Minerva. Anyways, yeah. It was like, so we had a lot of world building. I feel like that was the bridge for this season, but the characters were really nice. And I'm going to be kind of sad if they never come back. I feel like they're done because I can't see where they will affect the story moving on. Yeah. So.
And I guess they can only show up at Echidna's tea party.
Right.
So she would have to allow him to come back again.
Right.
Which apparently, after she was rejected from her contract, she was like, "Oh yeah, you can't come back and you can't take the trial anymore. I hate you."
Yeah.
But please come be greedy with me again.
Yeah. You know, it's so sad. It's like, oh no, when she offers you the tea and when you reject the tea, it's like, oh.
She put any hair in it this time, so.
Oh, don't. That's too far with the bullying. Don't bully her that much. Come on now.
Well, that's what she said. I didn't put any hair in it.
Yeah. Oh man.
What was I was gonna say something. Keep going. I gotta think about what I was gonna say again because I can't remember.
But I think what's funny is that everyone we're talking about all the other characters except for Frederica. I think Frederica was fun just because she has that rivalry with Ram.
Oh yeah.
And everybody that promotes Ram or makes Ram look better always works for me. But she was fun too. But I thought that was kind of funny.
It was only like what, 3 episodes?
Yeah, and it wasn't even like the entire episodes. It's kind of like half those episodes.
Yeah.
But and what did she say that the Garfield is her brother, right?
Yeah, I think they're half brother.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think she's got a different father or something like that. Gotcha. Which is why she was able to leave the sanctuary because she's not half; she's like a quarter, like whatever,
werebeast or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So she's able to leave, which I was wondering about because she said she was from there and she made it to the mansion. It took me a while to like really think about it, but I was like, wait, how did she get out? Was there another way? And it turned out that she had to be a quarter. So I was like, oh, well, okay, that's blood.
Yeah.
Can't do anything about that.
Must be this tall to ride.
Unless you want to like do a blood transfusion with everybody and mix some of your blood in with theirs.
Yeah, phrasing.
Right? Now we're all related.
Jeez.
Just don't give any to Amelia.
Why?
Well, you don't want to be related to Amelia. You love her. That'd be like you're in Alabama or something.
Alabama?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, I remember what I was going to say now.
Go for it.
I did feel a little sorry for Satella. Like, you hear all these horrible things about her. I'm sure she's everything they say she is. I mean, she killed all the other witches and tried to basically wipe out the world, from what I understand. But you actually meet her, and she's just wants Subaru's attention.
Notice me.
Yeah. What did she get? She gave him the ability not so he could just kill himself and save everybody, but so he could, like, I guess, appreciate himself more.
Yeah. Help others and love himself.
And he's just been misusing it the entire time. Oh my god, Rem is dead. Stab myself in the throat. What? Yeah, I mean, I just felt bad for her a little bit. But I'm not saying she's, redeemed or anything. Again, she killed all the witches and she tried to wipe out the world.
Yeah, man. She killed Echidna and she killed Minerva. That's jacked up.
Yeah, poor Minerva.
Wow. Echidna just wanted knowledge, man. And tea.
Which, by the way, what was she willing to do? She was making clones of some girl so she could, like, take over her body?
Yes.
So that when she died, she could just keep on living through that girl's body?
Yes.
But it failed?
Yeah.
Like, the only way you could test it is if you die.
Yeah.
She failed. Like, well, that was my one chance.
I just remembered the scene where Subaru expressed interest, or he like flattered her, and she's just all like, "Oh, don't you know that by flattering me, you're not going to get everything?" And she's serving him tea and putting out the cookies and all of that.
Yeah,
she's serving him as she's going like, "Oh, you can do all your tricks, but it's not going to work," as it's totally, completely, utterly working.
Yeah,
that's Maya Sakamoto, man. She just kills it. She just murders it.
Also, lying about how the witches come to visit.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta switch places with them, so I can't be here. And then Minerva shows up out of nowhere. Wait, I thought you had to switch with them. No, she lied about that. She's been lying to you about a lot of things. Okay. Stop letting her sweet talk you into everything. Which is basically what she was doing.
But that tea, man. That tea.
It's probably horrible tea.
Rude.
I mean, they don't even show you which part it's coming from.
Yeah, that's the meme.
I mean, everybody like just memes it as her armpit, but for all we know, it could come out of her ear or something.
Yeah, that's the meme. That's the joke. It can mean various things. Yeah. It could be All Might's hair, man. That's how she passes on the power of All for One.
Maybe she did. Remember, he's what is he a representative of greed or something? Whatever, like Garfield is.
Yeah.
I said Garfield. Garfield.
Yeah, it's fine. Garfield. It's like Felix. It's Felix. And the other guy's Beetlejuice. I don't care how you spell it to avoid copyright. It's Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Okay. Des.
Well, I had to say it differently, so we didn't summon him, okay?
Okay.
You had already said his name twice.
All right.
We don't need Michael Keaton in here.
So, that's all I got.
Yeah, that was a good season, except, we stuck with one area the entire time.
Right.
But outside of that, we did learn quite a bit. We learned about all the witches. We learned a little about Satella as well. We learned about Roswell. He's like 400 years old.
And he's OP as hell.
Yeah.
Just he knows Hokuto no Ken just makes people explode.
Right. What do we got? Learned about Beatrice a little bit. Which, I mean, what? Echidna told her, "Oh, you gotta wait for that person." The famous thing in anime. That person or that thing, or we're gonna do that, or...
CinemaSins would call it playing the pronoun game.
Yeah. And, I guess it was just whoever she decided was that person. And she just can't make up her mind. But then again, if she would have known, she probably would have picked somebody. Seems like she wants to pick Subaru, but I don't know. But yeah, I thought it was a good season. Season.
Yeah, it was a good introduction, good world building, good character introductions. We'll see what happens when Rem comes back, but
who?
Yeah, exactly.
As far as I know, she's still asleep in the light novel.
Wow. Get wrecked.
Hopefully, Subaru doesn't pull a Shinji.
Maybe that's why that guy got mad at you. his wife was still knocked out. And Amelia's over here like, I'm Amelia. I'm the main character. I'm the main heroine. I'm everywhere.
Yep. And she needs to be.
Okay.
And then they just try to put more Rem out there by putting her in with Amelia. We're going to put her in all the posters with Amelia.
Get her back on the character charts.
Right.
Yeah. Well, 8 out of 10.
I gave it 8.5. I would like to see a little more of Amelia.
Of course.
See her, like, progress a bit. Not that it's going to change my mind about her, but I would like to see a little, character development.
So even with all the new characters, you're still on primarily Team Amelia?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right.
I also feel, I don't know if I feel sorry for Subaru, but he does have big shoes to fill with Puck being gone. Well, yeah, I guess little shoes, but...
Waka waka.
I mean, what does he expect? How long has Amelia been with Puck?
Ever since the Frozen Bond movie.
How long was that? How long ago was that?
I don't remember. Was it 2 years before Subaru got there?
I don't know, because I haven't watched it.
Yeah.
But up until that point, he was the only person she really knew.
Right.
So,
he was
of course, she's going to be relying on him all the time.
Because, yeah, he didn't allow himself to make contracts with anybody else.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And now he's gone. Or she. It's a he, right?
Yeah.
Now he's gone. They have no idea where. So she's probably, like, going crazy trying to figure out where he is. And Subaru's not exactly doing a good job of comforting her, so...
Roswell Hokuto no Shinkenned him. Hokuto kenned Puck.
They did have a fight, didn't they?
Think so.
I remember in the other OVA they mentioned that they had a big fight that changed, like, the whole landscape of a whole section of like, land. I think it turned out to be a draw or something.
Roswell's too OP, man. That's nerf. It's just... God.
Just get the rabbits out there.
Get his one weakness, tricks.
Tricks are for kids.
Oh.
Silly Roswell.
Get wrecked.
Alright, so yeah, I think that's about all I got for ReZero.
Alright. Bring back Minerva, bring back Echidna.
And more Amelia, please.
You don't need the poster girl of the series.
Less Rem talk.
More Ram talk. I'm okay with this. Wow, so all of that, and we actually just ended the last season.
Yeah.
So, I don't know about you, but especially since most of these, we're going to be talking just about, like, the intro episodes, so we might go, like, lightning round these.
We'll try. We always try to do that, and we always find one that ends up just sticking for a while.
So the first show, and I think this was the one that everyone kind of noticed before anything else, is Climbing Girls.
It's funny, because everybody noticed it, but I don't see really anybody like paying too much attention now that it's out.
Right. So this is kind of in the vein, it reminds me of like Dumbbells and all of that. And everyone said it too, just by watching the preview. They were like, oh, it's a sports-based anime, but it has those camera angles. And so I've seen both of the episodes, the first two episodes. I honestly wasn't even paying attention to, quote-unquote, the camera angles. I was more so, like, fascinated that they could extract that much information and technical talk about competitive wall climbing. Like, I don't know if you caught that, but that's what stood out to me. Like, maybe it's just because of all the years of watching anime, I'm just desensitized to that, too. And I've seen that in a couple, like, Facebook comments, too. It's like, oh, it's another panty shot show. And it's like, guys, at this stage, let's say, for most of us, the common people that are on social media these days, let's say if we go back to the 90s, when we were watching shows like this, and you're still being like, panty shots, You need to get over it, man.
Grow up.
Yeah. It's there. It happens, okay? And shows that rely on it probably rely on it for whatever. It's the aesthetic. Maybe it's a comedy. Maybe it's an Ikitosen type of show. Maybe it's just that. But we get it. Panty shots. Yay. It's a trope. It's just, it exists. So, moving on. So, when it's I was all like, they're coming up with like the Egyptian hold and all that, and rest in the middle of the wall, and then before you climb, analyze. Because is competitive wall climbing even in like the Olympics?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Oh, look at this.
And what's funny was that on Saturday night, I was on a Discord viewing party with the boys, because it was the series or the season finale. I was about to say season finale for the boys. And so then I was just kind of like talking about it, and one of the guys, he actually does that. He actually does wall climbing over in San Francisco. And so my other friend was like, "Oh yeah, hey, you watch the show about the competitive wall climbing?" He's like, "Oh, dude, I have so much to say about that show, because some of the guys were bringing it up, like, oh, they're going to make an anime off wall climbing." And he goes, "Oh, I started reading the manga because of this." And I forgot exactly if he said he didn't like it or he did like it, but I guess anime being anime just kind of over-exaggerates some of the things. And it's, one of those things where when you're watching like basketball, like Haikyuu or something, right? And you're watching like actual NBA, and in real life sports, it's always like fast. Like there's no time to think. But then when you watch the anime, they do the gratuitous slow down, and now we're inside the character's head as they strategize and think through it, and it's like, oh. And then when you watch it in real life, it's just all like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
There's really not a whole lot of strategy and thought going into it.
Okay. So, apparently, rock climbing was supposed to be introduced as an Olympic sport in the 2020 Olympics.
Of course.
So it was announced in 2016 that it would be a medal sport in the 2020 Olympics. And that it was going to have 3, I guess it says disciplines: bouldering, lead climbing, and speed climbing.
Oh, this is pretty much what they at least have lead climbing and speed climbing, or they've mentioned it.
Yeah.
In the show.
And I guess the other one is called bouldering, whatever that is.
I would assume that it's more maybe like in the real outdoors, maybe.
Maybe.
Or
might
maybe
have to watch the Olympics.
Yeah. But yeah, no, he said that he was interested in watching it. The guy that actually does the wall climbing, and just like in the style of Dumbbells, it's kind of like, okay, yeah, we got fan service and all of that, but it's still actually, they did their research, both in terms of wall climbing and in weightlifting. So
right. It's
still in a very fan servicey way, but it gets its point across. It makes, the show interesting, I feel. So
yeah. And like you were saying, because I watched the first episode, at least. I know you watched the second one. And I had heard about all the camera angles and stuff, and I was watching it, and afterwards I was like, I didn't really see anything too bad.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even really notice anything that would make me go, look at that camera angle, or look at this one.
Yeah.
I know a lot of them, and like when you see screenshots, they're like showing the shot going down to go down her shirt, and I'm like, I think that was like a second, because I didn't see that too much. I know there was a lot of ab shots, which I appreciated, but other than that, I didn't really see anything during the climb that would make me go, well, Twitter is going to erupt over this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was pretty fun. I mean, I've only been rock climbing once, and I wasn't like trained in it. I just kind of did it.
Was this indoors or was this like outdoors?
It was an outdoor thing.
Okay.
It was like a pillar that just went around, and it had the little pegs that you would climb up.
Okay.
They had a beginner side, an intermediate, and a expert. I did the beginner because obviously I've never done it before.
Yeah.
And I think I tried the expert one, and I nearly got to the top, but my arms were tired from doing the other
Hey,
one,
they bring that up too.
So I didn't get to finish it.
Yeah.
But I was about to. I was pretty close to the top. I just couldn't push myself because I was out of shape. Well, was is not the right word. Am out of shape. There we go.
It's fine. Again, you did it and you still nailed it, because that's also, you know, the trope that they always bring up. It's all like, oh, you're almost there, and next story arc.
Yeah. I definitely did better than Kazuya, that's for sure. There was no Chizuru, though.
And no Ruka?
No, well, Ruka fell too, didn't she?
Yeah, she fell.
Yeah. I said falled first. What the heck?
Ruka makes you do that.
She makes me stupider.
Yeah, Ruka's a cutie.
Gotta match her, I guess.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
she is stupid adorable. But yeah, that is so last season.
Right.
But yeah, no, and again, it's always fascinating for these athletic-based shows that they can squeeze all this technicality out of it. You know, because you kind of watch it and you know, what you said is pretty much the only thing I would be aware of is stamina.
Right.
You know, you don't want to burn yourself out, but in this show, they're all talking about jumping to the next peg and all that, and I'm like, I didn't even know there was a strategy to it. Outside of don't burn yourself out.
Right. It's also kind of hard to get your foot on the pegs because they're like slippery.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
And thin, so you got to try to find a good spot to get your foot on there and hold it in order to get to the next one.
Right. And she figured that out like after one try.
Well, she's a gamer, so.
Well, that's
Master race.
Yeah. What's funny is that when it comes to the Japanese esports scene, all I've really known about is just their competitive fighting games. Mm-hmm. You know, I know that obviously Street Fighter is huge over there. Guilty Gear is probably their second most, but Tekken was probably not as big. Tekken was big, I think, up until like about 5. And then after like 5, Tekken Tag a little bit, but then by Tekken Tag 2, it just basically kind of died out. And then Tekken 7 brought back like a resurgence in Tekken.
Okay.
But for them, yeah, it was like, because you don't really hear too often about like the first person shooters. I mean, like animes, like gamers, they point out like, oh, you know, we play first person shooters, but for the most part, you know, it's
I know they actually in the anime Chio School Road. Mm-hmm. She plays like Black Ops and stuff like that. Okay. But they also mention in that not too many Japanese people play those games, like the American first-person shooter style games, because they're not as popular. But she really likes them, so I know that just from that they're not as popular over there. But I'm sure they got their group. Yeah,
I'll never forget when we were playing Halo 3 when it came out on 360, and we actually ran into a Japanese player, and we're like, oh, snap! And then he actually was pretty solid, too. But I think Halo is popular in Japan. I think the sci-fi aesthetic appeals to them a lot. So Halo actually found a niche over there with them.
Right.
So it was just kind of rare because it's, you know, again, first-person shooters and all that. But yeah, we found that. We all added them on our gamer tags. It was pretty funny. And so, yeah, so when the main character in Climbing Girls is all like, you know, I play, you know, all these games and puzzle games and all that, and she's a gaming champion, and I was like, I'm thinking, obviously they reference Puyo Puyo.
Yeah.
Which I played for the first time a little last year, because it was before the pandemic. So this was maybe last November. Okay. And we have our friend, and she's just, I always call her a grifter, because at all the cons, she would always just go take over the Wii, and everyone would just kind of come up and start challenging her, and she would just devastate them. And I was all like, dude, you should just start putting money matches, you know? Like, when they do money matches, like, I remember Punko in NorCal Regionals, which was up in Sacramento, he would just sit at a station, and he would have his fight stick plugged in, and he would just have a 20 on the table. Just, there's the 20 on the table, and then, you know, you just come up, if you want to challenge him, you put your 20 on the table, plug in your joystick or your controller, and then just go. And I was like, that's what she should have done. I was all like, just put your 20 on the table, and whoever comes up, they put their 20 on the table, and then you guys just play 3 out of 5 Puyo Puyo. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. She really made that other girl mad, though.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't a game. This is super serious.
Super serial.
Yeah. And if you're going to treat it as a game, you can't be on the team.
The girl that's played by Tomita Miyu.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think she has a niche now. That's her following or her role is to be the character that always complains about you being better.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the stuck-up girl who thinks you need to be super serious about everything.
Yes, that.
So basically what she was, you can't think this is fun.
Yeah.
It's got to be serious. You got to focus on this 100% of the time.
How dare you play Mario Kart in the student council room?
Right?
What are you, some kind of high school student? Yeah.
I was like, how could you not think it's fun and do it? You gotta have it, like, at least think it's fun, right?
You know, her perspective changed when she beat the cat girl. Nya.
Right?
Oh, nya. I cannot believe you beat me. Oh, my goodness.
Was that the second episode?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet. Grr.
Okay.
Oh, well. Well, you know what?
You'll understand.
I will understand later.
But, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, but... And then they ended it. Oh, yeah, that's right. They ended it right before they went to the tournament, too, so... Yeah.
Yeah, she joined the club, and they were like, oh, by the way, get ready for the tournament. It's tomorrow. What? Throwing me in a tournament already? But I'm new. Well, time to get those hours in.
They stole from God of High School. They went straight to the tournament arc.
Yeah. It's like, it seemed to work for them. Let's try it. Who does the other girl? The captain. Like the VA.
I don't recall. I just remember Tomi Tamiya because I was like, I want to see more of her acting because I've become a fan of her stuff over the last year. But I think the main four at least were pretty recognizable. They were pretty named voice actresses. I just have Hayami Saori on the mind. She's just everywhere now. You know, I feel like the Spider-Man meme. Everywhere I look, there I hear her voice. It's just her as the same voice.
Captain Marvel?
If Hayami Saori voiced Captain Marvel, then I would go to Japan and watch Captain Marvel too. So, and then I'd be able to like, hey, look, it's Uzaki's mom, Captain Mara Revolt. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, no NTR. NTR is bad. Don't ravish Uzaki's mom. But yeah. Yeah, no, yeah. Like I said, I was hoping that we would be doing lightning rounds because we're going to be talking about a lot of first episodes. But I am fascinated to find out more technical terms for wall climbing. And much like how I remember when we were talking about dumbbells last year. Has it already been a year?
I think it's already been a year.
And you were saying your cousin is a professional weightlifter too, so I look forward to talking to my friend about wall climbing, and I hope he keeps up with the show. He kind of dips, ebbs, and flows with anime and manga, and funny enough, we were just talking about cyberpunk. He's more like a sci-fi cyberpunk himself, so shows like this, I don't know if it'll really appeal to him, but I hope he can stick through it so he can tell us more about it. So
just need to add a little cyberpunk to it.
that would be kind of like, that'd be crazy. Cyberpunk wall climbing. Everyone just be jumping. They'd have to make the walls like 100 feet tall because you'd be able to jump like 20 feet.
Right.
And they wouldn't even need pegs. You could just use your cyber arms, just grab into the wall. But
it's how to work.
Hey, if you got Tomi Tamiya in there too, sign me up.
Try to take down the student council.
The Cyber Student Council.
Realize that the vice president is evil and wants to take over.
the cybernetic enhance. The Cyber Student Council. Even in the future, the Student Council still is the highest authority. The national government doesn't have anything against the power of the Student Council.
Right.
Man. I sure hope there's no student council. That'll be funny if they introduce the student council of the climbing girls' school. Yeah. Yeah.
So always funny to see what kind of stuff they have at these high schools.
I mean, this high school has a climbing group, wall climbing group. So,
well, I mean, I was reading one that they had a night school, like knights.
Oh, like knights in armor.
Yeah, that was females too. In armor, pretending to be knights.
So Milftoria, huh? Tell me more.
It was interesting. I liked it, but it hasn't updated in a while. So.
Oh, whack.
Yeah. Did the whole trope where the main character saves the girl on the train and they're in there.
I've seen that meme. I was gonna say, is that where that came from?
Yeah, she's standing in her armor and they're like, what?
Yeah, I remember when that first came out, and everyone's because calling dudes white knights and all that was very popular at the time, and then that manga came out, and everyone's all like, "Well, jokes on you. That's actually a girl under there."
Yeah.
So, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's where that. I guess that's where that's from then.
Yeah, yeah. Stop, heathen! Leave the maiden alone. So I'm like, oh my goodness. Yeah, it was pretty good. That's funny that's still around because that was like from like 2015 almost. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, something like that. It's been a while.
But man, that's funny.
So I think that's it for sports climbing.
Yeah, for now, because like I said, we're talking about the debut episode, so I think this has a lot of promise.
Yeah.
So if you're wondering, like, oh, I'm going to get distracted by camera angles, just check it out. Just give it a shot. Give it a fair shake.
If you've been watching anime for a while, it won't even bother you.
Correct.
You won't even notice.
Correct.
Unless they do something very out there, but I haven't seen anything like that.
No. Especially if you can handle dumbbells, you can handle climbing girls.
Right.
Yeah.
The only difference is you won't have the main character like breaking the fourth wall and acting like, why are you doing this? Why is she in that position? Do we really have to do these erotic poses?
Very muscular.
Right.
All right.
I want to watch that again now.
Fair enough. All right. So I know when we were talking about Golden Kamuy, you were like, "Oh yeah, Golden Kamuy started," and then you gave me the picture of Sugimoto and Sugimoto's stupid photos. Holy crap! What the hell? Where did those come from? What's going on? Is this the girl? And it's just what's his face? Like what?
Yeah.
Then they were like, I don't think that's the girl.
That one dude was like very cute. Isn't that him right there?
Oh my god.
Like, oh, wrong photo. Like, what are you doing holding these photos?
So,
what's his name?
You're actually segueing into my next point, but I think that this might be a rant. So I'm actually going to make a note.
Tanigaki, that's the guy.
That's the guy? Okay. So I'm going to rant about that in a minute, in a general sense, but let's actually, while I'm composing myself and I just go off, let's just open Golden Kamuy with your thoughts. So we're up to the first episode.
Right.
So, what are your thoughts? What are your takes? I mean, obviously we're just continuing on, so.
Yeah, we're just continuing on. Man, gotta learn a couple more characters because now he's following those guys from that lieutenant's group, trying to find Serpa, who didn't even have any voice lines this time. She was just kind of in the background. They're like, "Did you see this girl?" No, not the dude.
He's right there.
Yeah, it's like I kind of like where it's going. Now that they're out of Hokkaido, you get to see a little more of like the area. Because I mean, I know it's not way in. Was it mainland Japan? It's just way at the bottom, right across from Hokkaido. But still, it's an area where it's, I guess, primarily inhabited by Russians.
Yes.
Which I didn't know that was a thing back then. I didn't know there was a whole like town of Russians in Japan.
Yeah, I'm not very familiar on the Japanese-Russian War. I'm actually learning it from Golden Kamuy. It's a history lesson. All I know is that they did fight it, and I don't even know who started it. I think the Japanese did it. I think the Japanese invaded Russia. Or maybe the Russians were just getting too close and the Japanese got intimidated because, let's be honest, most of the time that's usually how the wars go.
Yeah.
The Japanese felt they were being encroached upon, and then they lashed out. And stuff happens. I think the last time they ever tried to like go for any conquest was like what, Korea maybe?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably Korea.
And that was like what, in the 1500s, 1600s? Something like that. So, but yeah. For all you Fate people, it's Himiko. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, no. So I honestly am learning
about the war.
Yeah,
as this goes on.
Yeah, and what's interesting too is always when they like showed that town in the state of Japan and all of that, and they showed like the electric poles and all that, and I was all like, that's funny. That's fascinating and funny to me, because it was like, yeah, and at the time in our homeland, USA, we had Teddy Roosevelt over there shanking Mexicans in the trenches of Cuba. Rough Riders, bitch! Teddy Roosevelt, that's my president. I'm sorry, but yeah,
in the trenches of Cuba.
Yeah, remember they were fighting for Cuban. Was it the Cuban Liberty? I think they were trying to liberate Cuba, so they were fighting against the Mexicans that were in Cuba.
I don't know.
Yeah.
History is not my strong point.
Yeah, so that's where Teddy made his name, and then the Rough Riders, that was the name of his squad. So
well, I know that part. Yeah.
And so he made a name for himself over there in Cuba, and then because remember Cuba was a USA territory for a minute, and then we just kind of gave it back to him. We're just like, all right, you're on your own now, and then we just kind of released them. But yeah,
just for them to want to come back over here to get away from their crazy ruler.
Yeah, we're talking about history as we're about to live through history, so. Good timing.
Believe me, my grandmother gets super angry about it.
Oh, really? Oh, we'll talk about this offline.
Well, the whole Cuban-Mexican thing. Not the war, but we'll get into it.
Yeah, we'll get into it. Yeah, so that's kind of like the two ends of the world going on right now. So I know that was what in the turn between the 1890s and then the 1900s. That's what was going on with us, and Teddy Roosevelt was making a name for himself, and then over there we had the Japanese-Russian war, and I think that's what was going on. Was I think the Russians, if I remember right, were getting too close to like all the fisheries, all the Japanese fisheries, and they felt threatened by it, and so that they went to war with Russia to push them back and get their territories and all that back. I could be absolutely mistaken. I would love for someone that's the 300 people that watched the Golden Kamuy video, you could
inform us what actually happened.
Yeah, I would love to know. Because it's actually Golden Kamuy has a great premise because it's blending in together all that Japanese heritage and history and the Ainu people. Again, I can't stop talking about FGO, it's a curse. But Sitonai, and then she even says it in the chapter in the storyline that her garb is actually traditional Ainu. So, and then obviously, like I said, Nakaruru, Rimururu, Kamuy from Kansai Collection, all of them are all Ainu dressed. And it's also funny too. I was watching the Crunchyroll subtitles, and it's so funny that even though the Ainu are in Japan, they're like they have toboggans and sleds like our Eskimos from like Alaska and up north and in Canada and all that. And so. Right. I just was like, it's so funny. And, they've made those kinds of references before, like, how do people that live over the ocean still come up with the same technology, like bows? How did we all come up with bows and we're all living, like, separate parts of the planet, but we all collectively still came up with the concept of a bow and arrow?
Well, I mean, it just makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, but again, it does make sense, and it is practical to get... we can fire a projectile and give it velocity by doing all this, but it's so funny that the resources are different, like the types of lumber we have and the access to strings we have are different, but we all had the same concept, the same idea.
It was aliens.
There you go, Roman figures it out.
Same with the pyramids. It's all aliens.
All right. All right.
Seriously, though. It was aliens.
Okay. All right. All right. Roman is going Alex Jones over here.
Get my tinfoil hat.
Yeah. And your 5G towers. but yeah. But yeah, so
yeah, I think, like I said, I like where it's going, where they're off the Hokkaido and they're going into more of mainland to try to find more of these criminals, because they went over to the mainland, which makes sense. I mean, why would they want to stay in Hokkaido when people are looking for them?
Right.
And the first place we go to is a Russian outpost where they have to fight in basically a kumite.
Yeah, right. Underground UFC.
Right.
Which is funny because that's the origins of UFC was, illegal underground fights.
Yeah.
And, underground fight clubs and all that, yeah. So, again, it's fascinating to me to see that, in 2020, we see a lot of the same things that were happening in 1898. So, we haven't evolved that much after all.
Nah, just better equipment.
Correct. Which is what I thought you were going to bring up was, did he get shot in the head? Like, the season started with him getting shot in the head, or reminding us he got shot in the head, and then he just kind of walks it off and has a little bandage there?
Well, what's his name? The one that can cosmetically change himself into whoever? Mm-hmm. That's now a female right now?
Yeah.
Doctor fixed him. Ate some of his brain, though. But did fix him. I don't know how long it was that he was actually in bed or whatever, but they did show that at the end of the last season that he was in recovery for at least a little bit. While his brain was getting a little eaten.
If I remember from all my psychology courses, depending on what part of the brain was eaten, that could affect his abilities, either his cognitive or physical abilities. They could be affected. I don't know if I just spoiled it unintentionally for us. Like, there's going to be a part where he can't fire the gun or he can't, swing his fist because of that part of the brain is missing. So I hope I didn't spoil it for us.
Yeah, I hope not.
Stupid college degree. Ruin everything.
Right now, it doesn't seem like it, though, because he didn't punch that Russian in the face.
Right.
Twice.
Right.
And now he's fighting with other Russians.
Survived the Wolverine fight.
Yeah, which I actually... When they were talking about an animal that was meaner than a bear, that was the first animal that I said.
Really?
But then I was like, oh, wait, did they have Wolverines in Japan?
Correct.
And apparently they do, because it was a Wolverine. I thought it was an American thing, because I know the Michigan Wolverines, the football team. I thought, okay, it's a U.S. animal, but I guess Japanese too, unless it's a little different.
Could be, because I remember Japan was the first time I ever saw a red panda.
Yeah. It's the first place I ever heard of a coon dog.
In Japan?
Yeah. Wow. They used to be running around on our base all the time when I was in Misawa.
Interesting.
Hated those things. They trigger all the alarms.
Bastards. Little jerks.
Yeah, because then we'd have to go and check them out.
Yeah. Should have gone like Sugimoto and just pull out your gun. I'm gonna fix this right now.
Right?
So
take you out.
So I will say that, okay, so my gripe, and this was actually, I think, in the same conversation I had, or maybe it was after the viewing party we had, but my friend, he said that his biggest complaint, and what actually ailed us right now before we started talking about Golden Kamuy, is too many characters.
You're going Kamuy?
Yeah.
There are a lot.
It makes it kind of hard to follow.
And every season we get more.
Right. And it's not to say that what they're doing with them isn't great, because they make it work, but there's a lot of characters. And he says that he's going to probably still watch it, but he doesn't know about his excitement level, because it's like when you're trying to follow 17 storylines and 25 different motivations, he goes, how long is this series going to be? Are we going to get to like season 6? And they're going to be figuring out the Russian Fight Club? And I'm like, this is a good point. It's like almost the opposite end, the opposite problem we had with God of High School, where we consolidated 120 chapters, and in this one, it's like, we make sure we cover everything. Yeah. We cut no corners. And I remember, too, when I was in Japan, was it maybe last year or something? And I think I told you that the newest volume at that time of Golden Kamuy was coming out. And so then it was like the whole end cap was all Golden Kamuy. And it took up like the entire, like all this table was like all the volumes of Golden Kamuy.
Yeah. And
so I don't know if this is quite a case of too much of a good thing, but fortunately I haven't gotten there either because like I said, I'm wrapped up in the world right now, even if the characters are kind of all over the place. I mean, look at, we have 12 people all looking for a Sirpa. By the way, let's take a pause to go to find the Octagon. In the 1898 UFC, you know? Tale of the tape! You know?
They do kind of have to.
Yeah.
They gotta get that dog.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, and yeah. That's what it really should be called is Distraction the Anime.
See, if they would have had Shiraishi, he could have found it, got in, out with the dog, and they wouldn't have to fight.
See, you even remember the names. I just know Sugimoto, Asirpa, and Hijikata.
Oh, thankfully I got the page up.
Oh, so...
I'm kind of cheating.
You cheater. So...
I would not have been able to remember his name if I didn't have this up.
Yeah, it's a lot. So I can't even be mad at that. I mean, like I said, it gets a pass because I'd be like, hey, that guy's cool. Remember the guy that did the gun and the fight and all that? And then they did the chase. It's like, yeah, it's cool. And then we got introduced to another Ainu girl who looks just like a Sirpa. It's like Chibi Sirpa. So it's just kind of like...
Yeah.
And I was all like, my what's the term that they use? My pause for reality is kind of broken because I thought they said that the Ainu people were 1% of the population, and now it just seems like they're just popping up everywhere. Like the witch doctor lady too. Remember, she's Ainu, and then was one of the other dudes was like half Ainu or something. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it kind of made sense for the witch doctor lady because she was working with the lieutenant.
Correct.
So they were going to run into her at some point.
Yeah.
Just turned out that she had her own goals and was just using the lieutenant to... Yeah, I don't know. And
then it turns out she's in love with What's-His-Face too, so that's 2 storylines! See what I mean?
Tanigaki.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Man, it's a lot.
I ship it, though.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying I don't. But, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. And then... when my boy Hijikata showed up, I was just kind of like, what great timing, considering that FGO just started their new Shinsengumi event, and I'm just like, fantastic.
And then he was out of the episode after that.
Yeah.
Didn't show him again.
Yeah. But I mean, that was pretty much, that's always been his representation in Golden Kamuy, is Hijikata shows up, says and or does something badass, and then goes away.
Yep.
And he's still voiced by Joji Nakata, so, massive troll, massive jerk. So, with when it was the voice actress for Ilya's 42nd birthday or whatever, and then he put the picture of Ilya sitting next to Kotomine, and he's just like, "Happy birthday." It's like, ooh, no. He's a dick. He's a major dick. But he's got a sense of humor, and so he can't even be mad. Oh, and then also last night, too, they made the new Guilty Gear announcement, and obviously Nakata is the voice of Soul Bad Guy, so... Still Soul Bad Guy! So... And I keep forgetting about that, too, because he doesn't look like he'd be Soul Bad Guy, but yeah.
Right.
And it's always fun to watch him versus Norio Wakimoto as Soul Bad Guy versus Johnny, so... Boomer combat. Yeah.
You got Soul Bad Guy, and then you got Johnny.
Johnny. The leader of the Jellyfish Pirates.
Jellyfish Pirates?
Yes.
Just One Piece?
Yeah. You would think. When you see Johnny and you look at his character design, and he's got a katana in the sheath and he fights with coins, you wouldn't be that far off in One Piece. Wow. And his whole pirate squad, his whole, they're all lowlies.
So, oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, But yeah, Joji Nakata is a great voice actor, so that's why I think he just really sells Hijikata. And like I said too, I think I was talking to the same friend too. It was like, for it kind of like having action scenes, Golden Kamuy typically isn't known for its fight scenes. You know, pretty much too, everyone's using guns. So it's kind of like you can't really have epic battle scenes or anything where everybody just has like single shot rifles, you know. It's like you can't really do too much with that. But
right.
The last fight scene at the end of the second season with Hijikata versus the warden guy, that was pretty badass. I'm not going to take anything away from that. If we could get more of that, I think we'll be good. But yeah.
Yeah.
So, I also want to say what I told everybody else earlier this week when the Gura event started. The Shinsengumi were the bad guys. Okay, I know everyone is just like, Okito's so cute. Okito Daishori! Aoyuki, yay! And I'm like, they were kind of the bad guys. They were the ones that wanted to keep the oppression going. Yeah, you know, so no disrespect to them because they were, you know, legit badasses and they were truly masters of their craft and all of that. But they represented an oppressive government. They were not the good guys. So that, and then they kind of reflected that on Hijikata when he's just all like, so what do you want? And he's just all like, you know, to go back to the good times. And it's like, oh boy. So yeah, the Shinsengumi, they were badasses, but they were the bad guys. So yeah. Yeah. So it's hard. It's hard because it's like, oh, they're so cool though. And it's like, yeah, but they're kind of dicks. So yeah.
Yeah.
And that was kind of, I know we got a couple, we had that stare down. I think was it second season, last season, or was it even first season, where Hijikata actually met Sugimoto and they were just kind of like staring down each other. And that was actually a kind of cool moment in perspective because it's like when like the Punisher met Captain America and it was kind of like you had World War II meeting Vietnam, and that's kind of like what that was all that meant, at least to me. It was like the Bakumatsu meeting the Sino-Russian War, and it was kind of like, you know, two different eras just converging, but you know,
right.
That was like two different ideals, two different viewpoints, but it was still pretty badass. So
Cool.
would Hijikata do much against a gun? No. But then again, he was using a gun too. And he uses his rifle in FGO as well, so. But yeah.
He has a gun. He knows how to use one.
Yeah. They had to. No choice. They would have loved to have dueled everybody, but, you know, out there at that time, it's like you try to duel everybody, you're going to end up like Indiana Jones.
Shot.
Just get shot. So. But yeah. So yeah, Golden Kamuy.
Golden Kamuy.
So it's doing a lot. It's doing a lot, and there's a lot of characters. There's a lot of storylines to follow. And yeah, this is only off the first episode. So,
yeah.
And I stopped actually buying the manga too because I was like, you know, I really feel like I'll just wait for the anime. So.
Yeah, I'll probably start buying it after the anime's over or something.
Yeah.
The manga's still ongoing, right?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know when that's going to happen then. Yeah. I might just wait until it catches up and then buy it.
Yeah. I as a Kenshin fan, I want to, you know, like it and buy more of it, but it looks like it's going to be very, very long.
Yeah.
So, but I'm having fun, and I hope that all the storylines get some form of a conclusion, but we'll see. It's also kind of like we should have a death chart, like who's going to end up dying and who's going to end up
living.
Yeah. And it's also kind of like this guy jumps ship and meets with this guy, and now this guy forms a strategic alliance with this guy, and yeah.
There was a lot of that going on in the last two seasons.
But we can all come together and say the Japanese hate the Russians.
Yeah.
So we can always agree on that.
And vice versa.
Yes.
All right, so that was Golden Kamuy.
Yes.
All
right. So from the lands of Japan to The fantasy lands. I just call it Sleepy Hime.
Sleepy Princess.
Sleepy Princess.
With the crazy princess who just wants to sleep. Like, Jesus. I remember I told you, I sent you that image of her sleeping, and I was like, don't let her fool you. She's kind of savage.
Yeah. And I had no idea what you're talking about. I was just kind of like... So the episode started, and I actually thought this was going to be a kid's show.
Well, it kind of seems like the art style and everything, and it's just typical. Though the Demon Lord came, kidnapped the princess, and now she's just trying to get a good night's sleep. Okay. But then she goes and kills a ghost and sleeps in its skin.
Straight up murders. Straight up murders. I was like, I haven't seen brutal deaths like this since, I was going to say Boku Pico. Bang Dream Pico.
Oh, God.
So, and Roman was super casual about it, too. I'm like, dude, did they just die? And Roman's just like, yeah, they did. It's a joke. It's a running joke. Somebody always dies. And I'm like, that's not good at all. Murder is bad. And here she is. She's just like, I need a bed sheet. Stab.
But I don't need the arms and the head.
Jeez.
Poor, what is it? That reindeer thing was like, had it in his lap. Like, oh my God. He's bleeding all over him. And she's just like, yay, got a silky sheet, sleeping in its skin.
This show, oh my God. Oh man. Yeah, I didn't see this coming.
I didn't either. I thought it was going to be a little more, like you said, moe.
Yeah.
I didn't expect Psycho killing everything that was in her path, trying to get a good sleep.
And if I remember right, the princess herself, that's Inori Minase, right? It's Rem?
Yeah, it's Rem.
Yeah.
Again, sleeping.
Always
Is that all you know how to do, Rem?
Yeah.
No, because you're also Hestia.
I was about to say, she's very wide awake in Danmachi.
Yeah. Gotta be awake somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Can't be sleeping in 3 shows.
Yeah. But yeah, it caught me completely off guard too. And what's also funny too is that I saw Dragon Quest before I saw Sleepy Hime, and
Same.
So I thought I was seeing a lot of like tropes, you know, the monsters being big in Dragon Quest, the monsters being big in this one, but in this one the princess is so savage. It's just kind of like, this isn't cute. This isn't adorable. I kind of don't even like you as a character. And she's just not like, oh, the hero's coming to save me. Oh, I don't even remember his name.
Yeah, I can vaguely remember that guy. Whatever. Just breaking their shield to get that wind crest off of it. She's just trying to get it off at first. She's like, oops, I broke it. Oh well, I only need this part anyway. She makes
alchemy into the junk pile.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
Just ties it all to a pillow and throws it back in the chest. She was using that diamond character to break it apart. That guard that was like a diamond, she just put him into a rag and just started beating it against the shield.
By the way, you know that they call those things a blackjack, right?
Yeah, she went into that.
Just had to know that before I start abusing the crap out of you. I just wanted you to know this. My goodness.
Random piece of information. Like, you know, if you put something inside of a rag and beat somebody with it, it's called a blackjack, right? Things like, I don't care. Just stop hitting me. Teddy bears are the only ones that got any kind of reward out of giving her something.
Correct. Everybody else just got it murdered and abused. Did you watched both episodes, right?
No, because the other one came out today, and I was working.
Okay.
On the bright side, though, she did die.
Yeah.
But she was brought back and then used that poor priest's horns to sand her coffin. And then used the slime that died with her to, like, I don't know, clean it or something?
To wax it. That was it. Yeah,
to wax it.
Yeah.
It was in the coffin with her, like, all scared, and she just grabs it, starts waxing the coffin.
What is this show?
The vampires and zombies are scared to even go up to her because they're afraid they're going to die.
what am I watching? This. So we've had. Let's break it down. We at the beginning of the year we reviewed Monster Girls. Mm-hmm. Last season we assisted them. We were their doctor. Mm-hmm. And this year we're just abusing the hell out of them, man. We're just straight up genociding them.
Yes. Jesus.
My goodness.
I think somebody mentioned that the voice actor for Belle is also in this from Danmachi. So it's Belle and Hestia again in this series.
Amazing.
But he also plays doesn't he play Kirito too?
Yes.
Okay. But still, Belle and
Hestia.
Yeah, I think he's the Demon Lord.
That makes sense. I was about to say he's either the Demon Lord or he's the hero Yusha, but it makes more sense for him to be Demon Lord. Yeah. Mao Yu-sama.
I don't even remember that guy's name.
Absolutely the worst. Absolutely the worst.
Just, what? Oh, my kingdom's hero's coming to save me?
Yeah.
I vaguely remember that guy. I don't even remember his name. Whatever.
Just gonna go back to
beating this shield. That one monster. I don't remember what it was. I think it was like a big zombie or something. Mm-hmm. After she died, she was like, "Well, she did want to sleep." It's like, yeah, that's true. She did want to sleep.
I love it.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I just love the Dragon Quest reference where she turns into just a tombstone.
Oh yeah, she did just turn into a tombstone, didn't she?
Yeah, in Dragon Quest you turn into the coffin, but I guess
And this is the tombstone.
Yeah, and this one's the tombstone. You don't want to get full copyright.
No.
Unlike Mom and Two Hit Attacks, they turned into coffins there.
Well, what's her name turned into coffins? Nobody else really died.
Shirashi.
Yeah, Shirashi.
But yeah, so it's so funny that Dragon Quest's influence on all these shows.
Right.
It's so funny. But oh man, I don't know, man. This is going to be a hard watch. This is kind of brutal.
I'm interested though.
Yeah.
I want to see what else she's capable of.
Just
what else is she going to come up with to kill these monsters to get a good night's sleep?
Oh my god.
I mean, she's got kind of a nice cell, if nothing else. She gets really good meals every day. But, her pillow was really cheap, and she had cheap sheets, so she couldn't sleep. Had to take the teddy bear's fur. Well, at first she was going to stab him to death. This is for my beauty rest, I'm sorry. Oh, wait, no, let me just brush you. Just give me the key whenever you want a brushing, and I'll
and then she abuses that.
Yeah.
Clink, 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 clink.
Yeah.
Oh my
God. Poor sheet, though, just got cut from, the neck down. Right in front of its friend, who was just shocked and scared.
Do you want us to feel bad for the monsters? Because you're just really making us feel bad for the monsters. I like the Frankenstein guy. He's like the realest dude in the room, though.
Oh, was he the one that was like, oh yeah, she just wanted to sleep?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I knew it was something, like some monster.
Yeah. He's the realest. He's the bro right there.
Yeah.
So everybody else is freaking out, but Frankenstein, he knows what's up.
He does. He knows how to handle this.
Oh man! Usually I'm down with shitlord characters, but this one just is like, oh, this is intense, man. It's just brutal.
It was pretty brutal watching it. I was gonna be. I don't know what I would have done if she actually would have killed the teddy bears and cut them open and took their stuffing. I thought she was going to do it. I was like, she's gonna kill the teddy bears.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if someone in the comments goes, "Oh, actually, she did."
I think what are they called? Teddy demons?
Yeah,
teddy demons. Yeah, she was gonna kill them, but then was like, "Oh, wait a minute, I can just brush you."
I mean, I felt bad when I was eating Teddy Grahams, and you would just bite the little heads off, and you'd be like, ah, and then you'd eat the whole thing.
Yeah,
but she was gonna straight up shank him, man. And technically, this is a jail, so this would be a jail shank.
Yeah, and they gave her the knife too, so it would have been their fault because it was for her meal.
We'll call this Gangster Rim.
Gangster Rim.
Just gonna shiv everybody.
Oh, right.
Oh my goodness.
Also, she could stay asleep.
So my question, and this is something that I kind of came up with when I was watching the episode, if they can use the demon priest as resurrection powers, why don't they just go resurrect all the bed sheets?
They probably did.
Okay.
I mean, they probably went over to the ghost and resurrected him. But still, the fact that she cut him, like...
Merciless.
She was like, oh, it talks? Well, I don't need the head or the arms. I thought she was going to have, like, a change of heart like she did with the bears, but no. Just straight up killed him.
Murder. Murder. Just...
And everybody in her kingdom is like the poor princess.
Right.
She's going through so much in the castle
right.
of the demon lord. The demon lord's going through a lot. He's like trying to have a conversation with her to explain, I guess, what it's like to be a prisoner.
Right.
You're supposed to stay in here, but she's always asleep, so I guess you can wait till tomorrow.
Yeah. Meanwhile, she just runs around killing all this stuff. Didn't she jack the cape from the wolves too, right?
Yeah, she cut the cape too from off of them, but they weren't soft enough. So she just kind of walked around with the scissors going,
yeah,
like opening and closing them.
Yeah, it reminded me of Clock Tower. Yeah.
With her red eyes. Wow.
Oh my goodness.
It is a crazy show.
Yeah, I wonder why this show got so popular and got animated.
I was kind of wondering. Like, you watch the previews, it doesn't give you any indication that it's going to be like this. Just, I think the preview just shows her kind of sleeping, and she's given like some kind of like
wave.
No, like she's saying something, I guess, in the background, and that's it. That's a preview. They don't show you all the murder that's happening.
She'd have at least a 4-star wanted level up in GTA.
Right. Man.
Oh yeah, this is
gonna be a fun watch. I'm just, like I said during my reaction though, I just hope it doesn't get kind of repetitive and boring. It's just her murdering things to get a good night's sleep. Like maybe there's something else that happens.
Yeah. But
I guess we'll find out as we go on.
Yeah. This is it has promise. I think it's a nice change of pace. But oh man, I can see that being a concern. Like you can only watch the animals getting brutalized so much. I think, and I was thinking about it too. I was like, oh yeah, no, it's kind of like with Doom, you just run around and it's all killing things and all that's fun. But Doom gave you variety in how you murdered and off the demons.
Right.
So we'll see what fun and creative ways she can come up with to keep the show interesting.
Waiting for her to curb stomp something.
Oh, jeez. Well,
Put your mouth on the curb.
Yeah. Well, I don't need his head or his arms curb stomp. Right. Oh my goodness. Gangster Rem. And remember I showed you that video because I love that video from the very first, I think it was the very first Blu-ray special for ReZero, and it was Inori Minase reenacting the Rem scene where she smashed Subaru, and she's like 4'0", and she's got the little styrofoam ball and chain, and she's all swinging it around. And, she's trying to be angry like Rem was. What was Rem even angry? Just because she thought that Subaru was a threat, right? That's why she was mad?
I think so.
Okay.
At that point, yeah, she was just trying to kill Subaru.
Yeah. So she was reenacting that, and that was so adorable because she's like, this tiny little thing, and she's just swinging the styrofoam maze, and then she starts knocking everything over. And so now I'm just like, this is her now in her calm and chill, cold, just calculated murdering phase.
Sociopath phase.
Yeah. Oh man, killing Badasu was the first step.
Right.
Now we're committing monster genocide. Oh man.
I think that's about all we can really say.
Yeah, right? Just like you said, I hope we get some variety other than just dude, she killed that thing. Yep, she sure did. So, next show. But yeah, we'll see. I think that for now, what we can say is Sleepy Hime needs a parole officer, and probably Arkham Asylum. Yusha is, we don't even know what his name is. The Demon King, you almost feel bad for him, and Frankenstein is best bro.
And maybe they should start giving her, I don't know, plastic utensils.
Treat her like Magneto.
Yeah. And try to find the scissors she has, because she's pretty dangerous with those.
She's gonna make the bear army.
Right.
Oh. Alright, until the next murder spree. So from one murder, let's go to the next Crunchyroll special, huh? Jujutsu Kaisen, huh?
Jujutsu Kaisen. Is this a Crunchyroll series?
I thought it was.
This was Noblesse.
Oh, is it Noblesse? Okay, maybe.
No, wait. I think it might be. Yeah, I think it has Crunchyroll in the beginning.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because I remember this was the next, like, exclusive, like, deal that they had or whatever. Yeah, that they were funding or whatnot. I don't know, whatever.
This was not a webtoon, though, right?
No, I don't think it was.
I think it's a manga.
Yeah. I think this was just the one that they put out there, too. But before I get into why I came up with that, but yeah, go ahead. What are your thoughts? Go for it.
Well, after watching the first and second episodes, I'm kind of getting Blue Exorcist vibes.
Fair, yeah.
The only difference I would say is that he's not the son of Satan, but he does have a very powerful curse in him that he's got to try to destroy. He's going to a specialized school for this, just like what was his name? Was he Rin?
I think so.
Yeah. From Blue Exorcist, we had to go to that special school to learn to be an exorcist so that he can kill Satan. I don't know why. His dad was pretty cool. And yeah, I don't know. It's just getting these vibes of like Blue Exorcist from this show. But that's not a bad thing.
No.
I liked Blue Exorcist.
Yeah.
And this one is different enough to where, I mean, I could see the similarities, but I'm not like gonna be every episode like, oh, they did that in Blue Exorcist, or this is just like Blue Exorcist. Like, the curses are pretty creepy looking, I would have to say.
Yeah.
I like the designs they have so far for the curses. That one that was trying to eat his friends was like way out there, and that, I don't know what you would call it, the thing that was at the rugby field. That was creepy too. Not so much the main curse, the one that's inside of him. We've seen that before, where it's like multiple eyes on a character. It's like, oh, okay, you can do that, and you're kind of strong, but you're not as creepy as the others. I mean, sure, you got 4 arms, but whatever. You're nothing special. And I guess, yeah, you got the mentor character. The guy that's got his eyes covered. I can't remember his name. But he's, I guess, mentoring him.
Right.
And also waiting to execute him when he gets all the fingers.
So, the reason why I was like, oh, this is a Crunchyroll exclusive. I don't know. I was watching it on Crunchyroll. And then the subtitles said that the main character is just like, oh, I'm a high school student. I love Jennifer Lawrence. And I was like, this is definitely a show that was made for an American audience.
Yeah, I heard that. I was like, wait, Jennifer Lawrence?
It's very particular. And I was like, is Jennifer Lawrence even relevant these days? In 2020? What has Jennifer Lawrence done?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen her in anything.
Right.
I think the last thing she did was that X-Men Apocalypse movie.
Phoenix. Dark Phoenix.
Dark Phoenix?
Yeah, Dark Phoenix.
Okay, Dark Phoenix. That was the last thing I think she's done.
Yeah, I was about to say, too, because I was like, Hunger Games is done, and X-Men is in a holding pattern now while they figure out what they're doing at Disney. But, yeah, no. And then that was, that got into hot water, too, because she was all like, she said maybe we should start calling it the X-Women, you know?
Oh,
and
in
it was
the
like,
movie.
Yeah. And here's the thing, I was like, you're not wrong, but you're also not right. So, yeah. So that was a very,
What is in women? Men. Last 3 letters. X-Men. There you go.
I love how I'm over here in university learning how to be politically correct, and Roman's just like, yo, political correctness.
Yeah, I don't give a crap.
Attaboy. But yeah, that was very specific, and I mean, and I could have sworn that the poster he was putting up in his room, I guess, was supposed to be a poster of Jennifer Lawrence too. So
that's what I asked. I was like, is that supposed to be Jennifer Lawrence? It was a blonde chick,
yeah.
so I guess.
Yeah.
She had kind of the same hairstyle.
Yeah. Yeah. What's funny, what also stood out to me, aside from the random Jennifer Lawrence call out, was the demon that he's supposed to be consuming. I swear that's actually a persona from Shin Megami Tensei.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so Shin Megami Tensei uses a lot of lore and demons and a lot of like Gegege no Kitaro kind of things too. But so in the overarching like Shin Megami Tensei universe, I love using, just like I said, there's the Nasu verse with like Fate and Tsukihime. The Shin Megami Tensei, anything that has the title Shin Megami Tensei actually occurs in the same universe. So what does that mean? That includes Shin Megami Tensei, the actual like 4 games, Digital Devil, the Digital Devil Saga, Nocturne, all the Persona games, Strange Journey. All of those games all fall into the same universe, and they all basically deal with demons and supernatural. And usually it's teenagers that go and save the day. Some of the games, so the very first game actually took place in a high school, and just like Jujutsu Kaisen actually, it got kind of like possessed and all that, and some of the kids were doing like summoning demon rituals. And Cerberus actually comes out and makes a contract with the main dude who saves his, like, I don't know if it was the girlfriend or if it was just a female friend. But then, like, their teacher got possessed and all that, and they ended up, like, murdering the teacher because, you know, she got possessed and all that. And I think the teacher even got, like, was, like, having, like, Satan's baby or some crap. It was really, really crazy. And yeah, that was Shin Megami Tensei, the very first, like, and it was based off a book on top of that. Oh. So it was a book from like 86 or something. And then they turned it into an NES RPG, but the RPG was done in like first-person corridor style. Yeah. So if you ever remember like those kinds of like DOS games, and then some of them got ported over to like NES, and like I think Arcana was like one that I can think of specifically from SNES. But basically the gameplay style, think like Wolfenstein. Okay. That's what it kind of looked like, but not really free playing. It was all just like corridors. So that was that. And then they made Shin Megami Tensei 2, which actually dealt with the apocalypse, the end of the world. And that one was pretty great because it was literally God versus Satan, and then you and your like classmates and all that have to like try to stop the end of the world, but the end of the world still happens, and everything goes to crap. And there's an American general character whose name is like General Thorstensen or something. Turns out that was actually Thor. Literally Thor. Thor works as an agent for God. And Thor was actually God's agent on Earth trying to stop Satan's invasion. But it doesn't happen, and then Thor is all like, you're our last hope now, and then you have to go and stop Satan's army. Yeah, dude, Shin Megami Tensei is crazy. I don't know if you can... I don't even know what the hell is the demon dude's name. I'm pretty sure he's... And so, all of this is relevant because in the Persona series, all the demons and all the, like, random battles and whatnot actually are referenced in the Persona series as personas. So, like... The guy that they were talking about with the 4 arms and all of that and the 2 heads, I'm like, dude, I know he's in Persona. I don't know, I think they make him sound out like he's super Billy Badass, but I'm like, if I remember right in Persona, he was kind of like mid-leveled. Yeah. So, I thought you were looking him
up. Oh, I'm looking him up, but I don't see him here.
What's the name of the demon?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's killing me. Damn it. You know, I don't want to pull up my Persona 5 right now. But yeah.
Sukuna. Right here.
Sukuna. Okay, so we're looking this up right now, so bear with us. So go to just look at like Shin Megami Tensei and then look up Sukuna. Yeah, there we go. Solving this mystery because I should have done my Oh, yeah, see? Yeah! Pull that up. Sikuna Hikuna. Hikona.
Does he have 4 arms?
Yeah, okay. Alright. It's got the Magatama. Raido, that's that one. That's the one that kind of plays like Devil May Cry. So that's like an action hack and slash. Oh, and that's from Persona 4. That's Naoto's Persona.
Oh, that's anime.
Okay. Yeah, this one. So this one basically has like a decay power. So anything it kind of like touches is like starts to decay.
Okay.
So, but no. Not quite. I knew it was in Persona. Yes, see, it debuted in Shin Megami Tensei, Japanese mythology. So, yeah. So that's why I was like, sounds so familiar. And pretty much now it's like, if it's any Japanese lore or any of that, just assume that it's been in Shin Megami Tensei. And then what they like to do too is that a lot of the characters, like the enemy mobs, will sometimes be like recurring characters and come back as like personas. And then in the Persona series, which is basically where now they've put all their resources into, is just making the Persona franchise.
I don't know if this is the same one. Going by this guy's history, it says he's a Japanese dwarf deity of healing and sake brewing, and is associated with hot springs.
All right, let me look it up. I'm pretty sure that's it though. Yeah, they show him as just in Apocalypse, Shin Megami Tensei 4, to unseal the demon from the ark, blah 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 blah. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. But yeah. Yeah, so that's why. And the Shin Megami Tensei series, before it started becoming like all mainstream and pop and all of that, honestly, it dealt with a lot of, like you said, the curses and, like I said, demon rituals and demon summonings and all that. And, you know, the evils of people, basically, is why demons never go away. Stuff like that.
Right.
So, even with... And the Persona series, they really started with 3. And it started because they were like, okay, the generic high school teenagers save the world trope. It was done in 1 and done in 2. But they were like, in 3, 4, and 5, they started like dealing with like more teenager issues and stuff that happens around that time period, on top of the burden of stopping the demon or demonic invasion. So, yeah. So, but when I heard the Sukuna and all of that, and I'm just like, man, this is what was in Shin Megami Tensei. So, I've never seen Blue Exorcist, so I will rely on you to make all the comparisons like that. But I will say, though, that the main character, before he started, he even ingested the demon finger, and he was doing all these kick flips and everything, and I was like...
He was pretty strong already.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't know what's up with that.
Yeah.
Guess we'll find out later on.
His grandfather is going to be like some legendary demon slayer, isn't it? His grandfather was like Dante, huh?
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why he was alone.
Yeah. Dante died alone. But yeah.
It could also explain why that dude knew his grandpa, to bring up his grandpa.
Mm-hmm.
Because he didn't mention, he just said it was a relative, and he goes, you can curse your grandfather if you keep on the way you're going.
I'm not saying I've seen a couple of animes in my life, but I have seen a couple of animes in my life.
Right.
So, yeah. Yeah. It does fit with the theme of Supernatural October for us, though. That's for sure.
Definitely. Mm-hmm. So. But so far, I'm enjoying it. I like the action scenes. Mm-hmm. Animation is really good. Voice acting is really good. I don't know anybody who's in it, but...
Yeah, same. I didn't really pay attention, because I'm going into this completely blind. I know I screenshotted it, the principal of the Jujutsu Academy, and I was like, why does he look so familiar? And someone pointed out, it's like, oh, it's Adam Jensen from Deus Ex Machina. I was like, there it is. That's the one.
Oh, yeah. I saw that post. I saw that post.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we got an Uchida. Naruto. No, sorry.
Naruto.
Trying to look up some of these guys so I can see where they're from.
Well, if they're... Oh, I don't really know who. What am I trying to say? If they debuted with this show, where they would go, because it's a Crunchyroll show. But then again, Crunchyroll, the Tower of God had some good voice actors in it. So,
well, the dude with his eyes covered is Hazama from Blaze Blue.
Oh, interesting.
He's also, I don't know if you would know these characters, or it says they're supporting. Muramasa and Tesla Lindo Cruz from Bleach.
Oh, that was from one of the arcs I didn't watch. I stopped watching after that.
Is this Hawks from Boku no Hero?
Looks like, yeah.
Okay, so he's Hawks from Boku. I don't know Blake Braid. Batum Oda Nobutaka. Clanad. Oops. Why am I using that? Death Billiards, what the heck? Dororo, Dr. Stone, he was Shishio. I don't know if you saw that.
Mm-mm. I heard Dr. Stone was legit, though.
It's supposed to be good. He's in Drifters. Toyohisa Shimazu? The main dude?
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. Literally the main dude. It's funny. He has good interactions with Nobunaga and Drifters.
He's also Gray Foolbuster in Fairy Tail. He's a main character.
So it's twice as the main character.
He's Gilgamesh in Fate Prototype. It just says Archer, but you know it's Gilgamesh.
Yeah. The only thing they did with Prototype was that little 5-minute teaser, so...
Greed from Fullmetal Alchemist.
Wow.
It's actually been in quite a bit. Nozaki from Gekken Shoujo Nozaki-kun.
Wow.
Dwarf from Goblin Slayer.
Oh, man.
Okay, I think I've gone through enough of his characters.
We get the point.
Yeah. I'll have to look at the rest of them later.
Yeah, that's funny.
Well, yeah, okay, so the guy that is mentor dude is pretty big, I guess.
The senpai guy. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good stuff. I think I've asked this from you before, but what do you think about the horror and supernatural? Is that something that you're down with?
Most of the time I try to watch like the horror shows, and I usually am just disappointed. I usually don't find them scary at all.
That's fair.
And just a little goofy.
Yep.
And I mean, if you're trying to do horror, it should be scary.
Yeah.
Which is crazy that you can't make a scary anime because your movies are creepy as heck. Supernatural, other than this one and like Muyo to Ryoji, and I think one other one, I haven't really been able to get into any supernatural shows. Like I said, I tried watching Bleach, couldn't really get into it. Yu Yu Hakusho is another one that I really couldn't get into, despite that being, I guess, a legendary anime at this point. One of the top shonen at that age, you know.
I think it just filled in the gap between Dragon Ball Z's.
Other than that, yeah, there's like, I don't really get into it that much. Like, most of them don't really, I guess, pique my interest. Like, I'll start watching them and be like, it's kind of boring. And I'll stop watching. I think the only real horror show I watched recently, I guess other than this one, because you can kind of count it as horror, would be the Junji Ito collection, and that wasn't even really scary. It was just kind of gross at times.
Yeah.
I was disappointed by that, because I keep hearing how scary his work is, and I'm like, you didn't represent him very well with this, if that's the case.
I always said that I play survival horror games like Resident Evil more so for the actual gameplay and like shooting stuff, because jump scares, it's all like, I don't know how you can be that scared of something when you've got a shotgun. You know, it's like, I'm gonna jump out a needle, and well, you can't eat me, you don't have a head anymore. Sucks to be you.
Yeah, but what if you're shooting like Bill Murray? Like,
well, then
Zombieland.
Well, clearly he's Groundhog Day, and he has returned by death. So
that was funny in the movie. Yeah. He's like trying to scare him, and he shoots him. He's like, "Oh, it's okay, I got him." Is that how you say hello? oh god, I killed Bill Murray.
Every time I try to type Zombieland Saga, I always get Zombieland the movie.
Yeah, same. Because I was trying to look up a plushie I had for Zombieland Saga, and it kept coming up with Zombieland, and I was like, no, the anime. Singing zombies. That's what I want. Idol group.
If you ever get a plushie of the what's her name? The big sister one, I'll take it off your hands. Let me know what you find.
Cool.
But yeah. Remember Jujutsu Kaisen?
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. You know, it's like, and even in what we got, it's it's supernatural, it's horror, it's action. I guess we're gonna be punching these guys, huh?
Yeah, looks like they can be punched, kicked, maybe even groin kicked, for all I know. That'd be my first go-to, a groin kick. To be like, see if this works. Maybe it'll give me some time. Hope it hurts you as much as it hurts me.
Fair.
And then I'd probably die.
Yeah. Well, but you went out like a boss, trying you were the pioneer in telling us that groin kicks don't work.
Right.
So we appreciate your sacrifice.
Took one for the team. What was it? I did kind of call at the end when they were like, "Oh, we got one more first year to go and grab," and I was like, "It's a female, isn't it?" It's the only one we're missing from this group.
Round out the squad.
We got the "Don't touch me, get away from me" guy. We got the mentor. We got the guy who's the main hero. We just need a female, and there she was on the train.
If I didn't know any better, I'd swear you've seen some Shonen Jump in your life.
You'd think so. Yeah, I've seen a few. Dragon Ball.
Kenshin.
One Piece.
Bleach.
Naruto. I actually did watch Naruto for a while. Up until Shippuden, when they tried to kill off Gaara in the first arc.
They're never gonna.
You'd have lost me then.
They're never gonna do that. No, they got your boy Neji instead.
Oh, before that they got Jiraiya.
That too.
It's like, no, I'm done. You're killing off all my favorite characters.
Done with you and done with your stupid son.
I did read the manga just so I could find out how it ended.
Yeah.
And I was like, I guess that makes sense. That they wouldn't kill each other. Kind of a cop-out, though. One of them should have died. But I guess you can't kill the prophesized ninja to unite all of the ninja world, right?
That's right.
You could have killed Naruto, though. Sorry, Boruto's dad.
Boruto's dad, thank you. So do you think... how should I say this? Jujutsu Kaisen. I want to like the main character, but to me, too, he also seems like another rambunctious, like, energetic main character, MC. So we'll see. We'll see. I think on top of that, too, what I'm not being sold on yet is what his capabilities are, because he just got them.
Right.
So we'll see what he can do. But I think that we saw Katana Gatari, and the main dude in there, he was kind of like a dope. But then when he started fighting, he got real. And then when he did the kick flip off Togame's face, I was all like, this is my boy right here. Why can't we have more main characters like that in these action shonen action shonen series? Why don't we have more characters like this dude? This is my dude. He's straightforward. There's no mysteries about him. He's in it. He knows what he wants, and he knows how to fight. He's already been trained, and now he just goes out and executes. And I was like, I for some reason, I really felt this dude. I was like, this dude's legit. This guy's dope. Yeah. So that's kind of where I think Roman has now ruined main characters in action shonen series for me.
Should have waited a few years.
Yeah. You done screwed up, because now it's gonna be like, no, he's lame. He didn't do a kickflip off the heroine's face. I don't like it. So
Give it a couple of episodes. There's no main heroine yet.
Yeah, we just got here. So yeah, he apologized for it. He wasn't completely a jerk about it, but he was so just straightforward thinking that he was just like, I'm just gonna beat this guy and then I'll apologize later. So, oh man, yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. But this guy just kind of came up and he's just like, oh, yeah, this demon thing is eating my friends, my senpais, my club senpais. Oh, okay, I'll just kick it in his face.
Right.
So, and yes, it's a 1 in a million chance shot that he'll survive. By the way, he survives.
Yeah.
Of course.
Always got to give you like those incredible odds, and then you're like, he's the main protag. Mm-hmm. You mean it's a 1 in a million shot that he's going to survive?
It's a 1 in a 1 million chance that he'll survive this, but I'm not worried.
I think it should be. It's a 1 in a 1 million chance that he will. No, they were right that he would die. That's how it would have been.
Yeah, they should just flip it. They should be like, it's a 1 in 1 million chance he'll become the utmost badass of this show and save the world.
And then he melts.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah. So, yeah. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I liked Adam Jensen there. He looked like he had some promise, but we'll see. We'll see how he turns out. I honestly do think that this show's creation is heavily inspired by American media.
Okay.
So we'll see how that plays out. I have my concerns. Because if I wanted to watch American superheroes, obviously I just go read American comics. So I don't really. I like to keep my American stuff, my Western stuff, Western, and my anime stuff, anime. So that's why I'm kind of like, but we'll see.
Right.
We'll see. Obviously, the show was popular enough that Crunchyroll decided to invest money in it, but when you got dudes looking like Adam Jensen and the MC is all like, I like Jennifer Lawrence, and I'm like, you could have just been like, I like Jennifer Lawrence's nude leaks that everyone put out on the internet. There you go. That's really what you're in it for.
You're a horrible person.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I like you.
Yeah. No, not until he does a kickflip off the heroine's face. Anyway.
Off Jennifer Lawrence.
There we go. I will reconsider. We will redo this episode. I'll be like, I was wrong. So,
funny, Jennifer Lawrence just randomly showed up somewhere while this is going down, and he just bounces off her face to attack the enemy.
You never know. She could be in there promoting X-Men Dark Phoenix, and then he's just like, the demon pops up, and then, he's kickflip off Jennifer Lawrence's face. Anime saved.
Yeah.
Here we go. But yeah. I don't
know. So far, I'm enjoying it, though.
All right. Well,
it's fun. We'll see how it is later on, though.
Yeah. The senpai guy, he seems pretty interesting, too, so we'll see. He was just like, oh, I'm just out here buying, was it Daifuku? No, I was just, Punk, the greatest demon lord guy, boss from the underworld. Yeah.
But then again, he has only one finger in. That
Phrasing.
Sounded bad. Yeah.
Phrasing. But anyways.
It's like Senpai and Uzaki. Phrasing. Wording. Come on.
Alright. That's all I got.
Yep.
Last show.
One more.
Last show.
It's one everybody's been waiting for. Tonikaku Kawaii. No, I'm kidding.
That's next time, yes. Next time you won't be kidding.
This time it's Dragon Quest.
Before we get into Dragon Quest, let me just ask, simply yes or no, are you actually enjoying Tonikaku Kawaii?
I haven't watched the second episode yet, but the first episode was pretty funny.
Okay.
Actually.
Okay. That's good.
Because I thought the dude was going to get isekai'd because he got hit by a truck.
That's what from the description I thought that too.
But and he didn't. He willed himself to live.
So you're telling me Kazuma could have done that and avoided the whole mess? Just willed himself not to die?
Well, no, because Kazuma died from shock.
Okay, well, we'll come back to this in 2 weeks. But yeah.
Like, he didn't actually get hit by anything. He just...
Okay, alright.
He peed himself in the hospital, and his parents were laughing at him. Sorry, okay, we're getting off track again. Dragon Quest.
So we went from all of that to Dragon Quest. So, let me actually start this. And I think I might have asked you this years ago on one of the earlier podcasts. What's your experience with Dragon Quest?
Just Dragon Warrior.
Okay.
From the NES.
Okay. And just the very first one. Did you play any of the sequels, the remakes, or anything?
I have not. Okay. I actually didn't know there was more Dragon Quest until I think the PlayStation 2.
Yeah, correct.
I think that was the first time I heard. I think it was like number 5 or 6.
7.
It was 7.
Yeah, 7.
Yeah, something like that.
No, it was 8. Dragon Quest 8. Dragon Quest 8.
I knew. Yeah, I knew it was like way up in there. I was like, wait, 8?
Yeah, 8.
I just remember looking at it like, hey, that looks like Dragon Ball art.
Yeah, because we got Dragon Warriors 1, 2, and 3, and then it just fell off the face. Basically, when they went to Super Nintendo, we just didn't get them anymore.
Okay.
And then it came back for 8. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4, 5, 6, and 7 all came out on. Yeah, I guess so, huh?
I just remember Dragon Warrior, the first one, when you got to the Demon Lord or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He gave you a choice of either joining his side or fighting him. And if you joined his side, then you just went back to level 1. And you became a minion.
Did the game continue after that?
No, it ended.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I never played it.
I wish it would have continued.
That would have been funny.
Go and kill the humans for me, and then you go to the king, and he's like, you can join my side and help me kill the Demon Lord, and then you just start back at level 1 if you join his side. And just start all over.
That would be a very NES Nintendo thing to do. That's why I'm curious as to how that played out, but yeah. Okay. Actually, no, I take that back. I think it was Dragon Quest 7. I think it was 7.
Was it 7?
I think it was 7. Because 9, I think, was the one on DS.
Okay.
And then 10 was the online one. So I think it was 7 on PS2. Because 4, 5, and 6 were on Super. And those were the ones we didn't get. And then it came back. And so, like you said, Dragon Quest, the one on PS2, though, that's the one where everybody kind of started picking up the franchise. Because just like Final Fantasy 7 on PlayStation 1, it was kind of the one that stood out.
Right.
Because everybody had a PS1, everybody then had a PS2. So, and then when Final Fantasy 7 came out and it showed that JRPGs are viable in America, then they were like, okay, let's put out Dragon Quest now. Because everyone knows the reputation Dragon Quest has in Japan. I mean, look how many times have we referenced it? You know, it's Sleeping Hime, Gintama used it. I mean, it's all over the place. Mom and her 2-hit attacks.
Right.
You know, everyone uses that. I mean, even we just said Konosuba. Remember in Konosuba at the end of season 2 when it was the slime guy, they're like, oh, slimes are super weak. And they were like, you moron, slimes are the strongest creatures in our universe. And where did the trope of the useless or the weak slime come from? Dragon Quest. So, I mean, it could really be a D&D thing, but I don't know how slimes are formed in D&D, so I just refer to Dragon Quest.
I haven't fought one in D&D yet, so I don't know.
So the Dragon Quest world is the Dragon Quest world is probably more intertwined than even like the Final Fantasy world, because even though all 15 Final Fantasy games are all set in their own like unique universes, Dragon Quest actually uses, I guess, the same assets, for lack of a better term. So that's why it's like all the monsters are all recognizable. You know, you always got the slimes, you always got the golems, you always got the mage guys. No matter what game, it's like they always just keep coming back.
Right.
And then they kind of like turn them different colors, and the colors are usually like element or what their weakness is, or what their metal slime, gold metal slime, silver metal slime, black. I think it's the black or is the black metal? I don't remember. But you know. I liked 9 because 9 was basically styled after, for lack of a better game, Final Fantasy 11.
Okay.
Where it was like it had job classes and sub jobs, and there was like online play. I thought it was dope as hell. I loved 9. I wish it would. I told the guys we should play 9 like a couple of years ago. You know, just get back on there and just kind of link with each other. And it had wireless and local play too, so it was great. And you can even like share one cartridge. So if I had my cartridge and you had your DS, you can just do download play, and then you could play with me as a ghost.
Oh,
so
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was dope. It was really, really great. And I think that 9 was probably the most experience I've had. And then after 9, I went back and started playing all the DS ports like 4 and 5. 5 was good because it was literally waifu simulator. So you started the game as like, little Goku, and then you met the girls, and then at the end of like you proving yourself, they're like, okay, Goku, it's time for you to pick a wife. And so then it had waifu wars. So you had to pick the blonde Bianca, you had to pick the blue Fiora, and you had to pick Deborah, the older Onechan, basically. So because Deborah was Flora's older sister, so I was like, of course I'm Deborah. So, but Bianca was pretty good too. So, but those they kind of became the staple waifus of Dragon Quest. So that was from Dragon Quest V. Okay. And then of course, the warrior from Dragon Quest III. That was the other iconic one. Bikini armor literally spawned from her, if not from Red Sonja. So I think that those two were like the influences for Bikini armor. Did you ever watch Bikini Warriors?
No.
Okay.
No, but I know of it.
It's like little 5-10 minute episodes. It's really dumb, but yeah, you'd appreciate it. I think.
Okay.
It is literally just making fun of tropes like that. So that's the one where it was like when they were all standing in the armor shop, and they were like, "We want your best armor," and then he puts them all in swimsuits, and they're all embarrassed. So when they're in their bikini armor, they're perfectly fine. But then when they go into the skimpy swimsuits, then they're embarrassed. Like, what are you doing? Yeah. So Dragon Quest has a lot of tropes, and I remember when the Final Fantasy craze was taking off here in America, and then they said that Final Fantasy is great and it's getting Americans and Westerners to notice JRPGs, but in Japan there's this thing called Dragon Quest, which you Westerners only knew like 3 Dragon Warrior games, and nobody even really talks about those because the NES was usually either Final Fantasy 1 or Legend of Zelda.
Right.
Legend of Zelda was it. So those were pretty much it. But those Dragon Warrior games, y'all don't even know because it's so underground. But in Japan, Final Fantasy ain't nothing. They were like, when a new Dragon Quest game comes out, people take day off from work or a week off from work. So they said that they have to let like all the major corporations and companies and offices know ahead of time that Dragon Quest is coming out on blah blah. Schedule accordingly. Then they came out years later after that, where they were like, no, that's over-exaggerated, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't know. Because at GameStop, we had things similar to that, where it's like Madden and then eventually Call of Duty, where they often said that productivity goes down when those games come out because, everyone...
Casual games.
Yeah. Roman. Roman's like Sleepy Hime, just brutal, man. Just murdering people out here.
Madden is the same game every year, just with a different number. It's like FIFA.
FIFA now has loot boxes. Dragon Quest does not have loot boxes. Yet. Yeah, yet.
Get the dye skin.
You like that metal slime, huh? $4.99. Put it on your blue slime. But, yeah. So... Then they said that was out of but to say that Dragon Quest isn't more popular than Final Fantasy, that is absolutely true. Dragon Quest is the reason why Enix was even able to compete with Square.
Right.
And what's interesting is that Enix, though, even though they were making the Dragon Quest series, for me their other games were much better. I like Star Ocean is probably like my favorite JRPG, even more so than Final Fantasy. I love more of the Star Ocean games than I love more of the Final Fantasy games. So if I were to rank them, I would put the Star Ocean games probably above the Final Fantasy games. If not, probably intermix them. But the Star Ocean games would probably be, 1, 3, and 4, and then Final Fantasy would probably be like 2, 5, and etc. So, and then of course they made Valkyrie Profile. I mean, if you didn't love Valkyrie Profile, you're probably dead on the inside. And so... yeah, and then I'm blanking on the other ones they made, but and they made the Tactics Ogre. That was them too. Or no, was that Atlas? No, that was them. Enix was them because Square came and then they poached their idea and their talents and all that, or their team at least, their dev team, and that's how they made Final Fantasy Tactics. So, but
one of my favorites.
Yeah. that was them. Enix made them too. Enix made Tactics Ogre, which became Final Fantasy Tactics, and now Final Fantasy Tactics is a mobile game, pay to play.
Oh, nice.
So Enix was on it. Enix gave Square a run for their money in Japan, but out here in the States, all everybody knew was Final Fantasy, and that was just because of the accessibility of the PlayStation and all that. So, but that's the foundation. That's the brief history, according to me, on Dragon Quest. So, I didn't know that this was specifically Dragon Quest Dai, because I had heard of Dai for a while, but this Dai is like old, like what, almost 95 or 96 maybe?
I think so, because I didn't know there's an older show. I think this is just a remake.
Yeah. I think the manga might even still be going, but yeah. So I didn't know that this was specifically Dai. I thought that this was just a Dragon Quest anime that takes place in the universe of Dragon Quest.
Oh, well, the manga was from 89 to 96.
There you go.
Yeah. So that was the manga.
There it is. Yeah. So this, and yeah. So, oh man. But it's good. It's great. And I didn't know that Toei was going to animate it. I guess it makes sense though, because Toei is an old school studio. Right. So in terms of, keeping the old school aesthetic, who's going to do them justice? Toei was going to do it.
Yeah. They've been doing a good job so far.
Yeah.
And with the 2 episodes that are out.
Yeah.
Like I said in the Discord though, they do have like a lot of the time, like if it's a really long show like One Piece, they have like scenes that are really well animated, and then there are some that looks like they had a kindergartner do it.
Just phoned it in.
Yeah. I think it depends on like the actual scene coming up. Like they might be like, we're just going to put all our budget in this scene. You get nothing.
Gomu no budget.
Right. So we'll have to see if they do that with this one. So far, the 2 episodes have been looking pretty good. So hopefully they have a decent budget to last the whole 100 episodes, from what I hear.
I mean, if you're talking about going from 89 to 96, it sounds like they're going to go the whole way. So, hey, I'm in. I'm down.
Yeah. I know I showed you that clip that I found online of this dude that's looking for Dai now at the end of episode 2, fighting that, I guess, dude that worked for the Demon Lord. I guess that's going to be what next episode or 3rd episode, 4th episode? Probably.
So, what's funny about the monsters that they've shown so far is that all of those guys are in the games. Like, what's funny too is that I don't know if you can see it up there. I don't know. Somewhere. I think it's back there, but I got Dragon Quest Musou.
Okay.
Which was actually pretty good. So the approach they did to Dragon Quest Musou was kind of like what they did with Warriors Orochi, which is, we're the 2 characters. You need to pick either dude character or female character. That's all. There's no difference between skills and all that. And then all of a sudden, like, the universes are converging, and then they started pulling in characters from all the other games. So you had like Elena from 4. You had Bianca and Fiora from 5. You had, of course, you had Jessica from 7, of course. You had, a couple of the other guys too that I'm forgetting. They're man, because I played that game back in 2015 now. But they had a bunch of the different characters and all that coming in. They had the guy with the little X on his head too, with the axe.
Okay.
So, and then they also they had kind of like tower defense modes too, because you would tame the monsters. Taming, I know for sure, was a thing that they did in 5, but that could be an older game function with monster taming. But you would basically tame the monster, and then you would deploy them on the map, and then they would basically hold down the fort, because there were some certain map objectives were like, don't allow objective to be destroyed. So you needed to tame the monsters and then put them there, and obviously some of them are flying, like Golem was there, but Golem could fall to magic pretty quick, so you would have to maintain the monsters to fortify the defenses, but then you could also help the monsters by, joining them and killing all the guys attacking them. So I had a lot of fun with Dragon Quest Musou. So that was dope as hell. Okay. And then, of course, and just like Warriors Orochi, you would form a team of 3 too, so you can swap out on the fly, and then you can make your combos and all of that. So Yeah. And then but Dragon Quest Dai, and I'm also thinking about the Death Machine or Murder Machine, whatever they call it. I think it was Death Machine or War Machine. I think
Killing Machine.
Killing Machine. I think
it was a Killing Machine.
Yeah.
At least in my translation.
Yeah, We'll just go with that. We'll just go with Killing Machine because I don't want to confuse anybody.
Right.
But yeah, all those guys are all like I said, they're all reused assets from every Dragon Quest to Dragon Quest. Because I mean, again, look at the Final Fantasy series. Even their summons, the summons are in all the games. But like I said, Typhon, Typhon, the names are different, the designs are different. Shiva's never the same design.
Right.
Ramu is never the same. Ifrit's never the same. Yeah, but in Dragon Quest, slime is slime is slime is slime. Golem is golem is golem is golem. And what's funny is that someone like you, I think, would really appreciate the Toriyama aesthetic.
Yeah.
So I remember, and I was like, "Oh, that's Dragon Quest Toriyama." He's like, "Oh, he uses the same crap." And then I actually gave it an honest shot, and I'm like, "All right, let me see what this is all about." And I'm like, "This is pretty fun." I'm not gonna lie. Maybe it's because he's not doing the story or any of that, or maybe he is. I don't know. I really think it's just character designs, really.
Yeah, I think it's character design, kind of like with Chrono Trigger.
Right. So whoever's doing the stories, though, they know what's up. So, yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at. What does this mean for Dai as an anime? So far, it's pretty generic. So we started off with pretty much like how they moved away from that. Actually, I think the first 3 games were all in the same universe. So it starts off the same, like legendary hero kills Demon Lord. Demon Lord is now resurrecting. Now the king is asking you as the new hero to go out. And I think one was the first game, 2 was the sequel, I believe, and then 3 was the prequel, if I remember right.
Prequel.
Yeah.
They threw a prequel in there?
Yeah. It only took them 3 games to get to the prequel. Mm-hmm. Or maybe I'm confused. Maybe 2 was the prequel. I'm pretty sure 3 was the prequel, though. But 3 was the one that introduced the job classes. So, when you remember in the first episode of Dai, the hero was in there with the cleric, the warrior, and priest? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then those were literally the designs. That's where those all came from.
Okay.
But what's funny is that when you look at the sprites in the game, they don't look anything like that. If you have the manual, though, that's where all those Dragon Quest designs came from. So that's where now you have, whenever you see the priest, at least the female, well, even both of them, they have like the orange, like full body stocking suit on. And then they just have like the shawl and then the bishop's hat on. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
And yeah, it says he's the main character and monster designer.
Okay.
But he doesn't write it or anything.
Which is funny because main character designer, you mean he just draws the same slime and hits a different color? He just opens the color wheel and it's just like, you are pink. You are neon orange. Let's see. This is the dropper ink.
No, that's left up to the crew that he hands it off to. Do what you want with it. Okay. This one's metal.
Yeah.
Dress him up like Gene Simmons.
Yeah.
It's a kiss slime.
Pretty sure that's out there. But yeah. So in terms of the actual anime Dai, it seems pretty straightforward. This kid is descendant of the because the hero. It always starts with hero slays Demon King. We all know that. Mm-hmm. And then usually, like, I think one of them, I think there was 3, where it was all like, you are the son of the legendary hero, so we're assuming you're going to go be as badass as your dad or your descendant was. So
get out there.
Exactly.
Like, I farm.
Yeah. I'm a farmer. Like, my mom divorced my dad. He was a scumbag. And there are recurring characters, too. So, the character Ruida, she's always the one in charge of the Adventurers Tavern, so you'll see her come up pretty much in every game.
Okay.
I don't know if she's in Dai or not, but we'll see.
Yeah. Once we get to the mainland.
Yep. Once Goku gets to the mainland. What's funny too is that the main character Dai, he actually had a lot of Dragon Ball character aspects too. So
Well, he went Ultra Instinct in this last episode.
Right? Thank you. I was all like, am I watching Super? Y'all ain't gonna hide this. Alright. So I'm like, Roman is probably like, yeah, I'd like Dragon Quest.
I do.
Dragon Quest Super is my favorite Dragon Ball. And me, I'm over here, I'm like Frieza in the new meme. I'll just ignore that. By the way, let me ask you while we're on that subject. Do you know what's the context of that meme? What was happening there where he said that?
Oh god, I know that was during the was it the Tournament of Power? Yeah, that was the final arc.
Mm-hmm.
I think he noticed somebody who was trying to like attack Goku or Vegeta or somebody on his, because he's on their team.
Okay.
But he's still out to get them.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he sees them trying to do something. He's like, yeah, I'll just ignore that. I think. I can't. I'll have to go back and watch, but I'm pretty positive that's what was going on.
You're going to have to break down and explain the Dragon Ball memes, yeah?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Just ignore that.
I'll just ignore that. So, but yeah, that's why I'm spending all my time right now talking about Dragon Quest lore than what actually happened in the anime, because I feel that just like the first two episodes were all set up. We got introduced to the princess, voiced by Hayami Saori, of course.
Oh, was it?
Didn't even take it. Just she said 2 lines, and I was like, "That's her, isn't it?" Yeah. Okay. That's fine. Like I said, the more the merrier. I'm cool.
I think Dai had it nailed on the head. She's kind of rude.
Yeah, she was a jerk. That's why I was like so, like what? She was all going melt Lilith on Dai, and I was like,
She's so small and undependable.
yeah.
Like, what?
Talking snack, dude.
You just met me.
Oh, yeah. And what caught me off guard too was that he was like Dragon Ball Goku, right? But he was going blow for blow with this battle-hardened quote-unquote hero guy in the first episode. And I was like, what? How old is this kid again? How is he already such a good sword fighter?
He's been training.
I guess so.
Just like with his magic.
He's bound to magic. He can't use any, though. But he can go Ultra Instinct.
Yeah.
Ain't no magic spell I've ever heard.
Kaswoosh.
Yeah. Well, okay. Those are the actual names. So I honestly, how can I put this? I want to say that those are actually the Japanese names for them. They're goofy like that. And it was the English translation teams, like as far back I want to say as the NES ones too, because I think that when I was watching the Dragon Warrior runs on GDQ, Games Done Quick, that they still called them like Zap and Boom and Kaboom and Kaswoosh, and they just kind of like Dragon Quest in America, or translated into English more specifically, just ran with it. And that's kind of like what Square also did with Future... Well, no, that's not true. Square in the beginning called it Fire, Fire 2, Fire 3. And then with... What was it? 7? No, it was with 8. They started going with the Japanese Fire, Fira, Firaga.
Okay.
Because they said that... I guess that was the most #1 complaint was translations for Final Fantasy games. So they were like, okay, we need to do better with our translations, so let's move it more related to the Japanese names and translations. Let's get more authentic with everything. But in terms of Dragon Quest and Dragon Warrior, Kaswoosh and Kaboom and Zap, I don't know what the point of that. Maybe they were trying to appeal to kids more? Or because Nintendo standards at the time were always like, you better make it kid-friendly. So if your magic spell was called like Immolate, they were like, yeah, that's not going to really fly. So let's, make it funny and lighthearted and Kaswoosh. Yeah.
Just a wind spell.
Correct. So, yeah. But, yeah.
Out of all the spells he's, bound with,
Mm-hmm.
he didn't know the anti-poison spell?
Correct. Well, I mean, that's like a level 12 spell.
Well, what's Kaswoosh?
Kaswoosh is actually pretty advanced, too. I think Kaswoosh is like, Kaswoosh I think is a level 19 spell or something. Swoosh comes later.
See?
Yeah.
And he's all telling his grandpa, "Get over here, old man."
Elder abuse.
I know.
So, but yeah, yeah. I'm hoping that we can do more. I recognize the mentor guy, the trainer guy with the curly hair. I've seen his design multiple times, and I think that he's actually a recurring Dragon Quest character too, or at least they made him one, or they put him in the actual game verse at some point.
Did they?
I think so, because he looks super familiar.
What is his name?
Curly-haired Akira Toriyama guy. Powder wig guy. But yeah.
Avon?
Maybe.
A-V-A-N?
Avon. Oh, yeah. Avon.
We got a dude here named Pop. P-O-P-P.
Yeah.
And Mam.
Yeah.
M-A-A-M.
Yeah. This is a very Dragon Quest.
And Hyunkel.
It's Dragon Quest,
what
man.
Kind of name?
It's Dragon Quest.
The most normal name here is Leona.
Yeah. Yeah, wasn't that the princess?
Yeah.
Riona, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, dude, this is the old ones. Yeah, that's him. Yeah, dude, this is like the 90s. This is the 90s version. It looks so different.
This
is the new one.
For the 2020.
This is the new, but if you scroll down, maybe
they're
because
using
they're using the old ones. You can tell, dude. That is so 80s. But then again, oh yeah, so this is his current student, Avon. And yes, that is, of course, it was Sakurai. Goddamn Sakurai. It's Arthur. Oh, snap, dude. That's Minerva.
Oh. You mean Sensei?
Yes. That. Seiki Tomokazu. Wow. That's Gilgamesh.
Oh, hey.
And what did I tell you?
Yeah, I remember. You said, yeah.
But even for her, she was just in the episode. They didn't update her picture. They're still using the old one.
I'm surprised Aoyuki isn't playing Gome. Somebody interesting. You had to back up.
Golden slime. So that's funny. Oh wow. That's fun. Oh good. I was gonna get really sad. I was all like, oh, when will Komatsu come back? So there was a running joke where I was just like, all the Sanzang and Minerva stuff, and I was just like, I think I just want to be punched by Komatsu. I think that's where I'm at right now in my life. And then she comes back in Dragon Quest. So I was like, my prayers have been answered.
Nice.
So yeah, we'll see. I think I know that I've gone off on a tangent, not really talking about the show itself, and instead we ended up talking about the actual lore. But I think that's what it's fascinating. They were able to create a game universe, and I can see why it has such mass appeal, And I know that there's a lot of more casual JRPG fans that just play it because it's goofy, and like Roman said, it's called Kaswoosh,
right? And
that's what it is. What's funny is that in Dragon Quest Musou, Bianca actually uses the tiger. She actually fights with the tiger, like the tiger is part of her attacks and everything. It's pretty funny. Okay. And then I think in 5 too, because they do time skip, and so then what happens though is that your waifu gets turned into stone, and so then you and the kids have to go and rescue her or find the cure, and you actually use the tame. You actually tame the monsters to become the 4th party member. So it's kind of like Pokemon with the kids. So
okay,
yeah. So like I said, there's a lot of lore, there's a lot of in-depth history to it and all that, but yeah, we'll see. Yeah, that's all really. I don't know what your thoughts on it or anything like that. Yeah,
I'm enjoying it. I mean, I don't know too much about Dragon Quest. Like I said, I only played the first game, Dragon Warrior, so all this is pretty new to me. I do recognize a lot of the monsters though, like obviously the golem and the slime, and I actually remember the wyvern.
Yes,
that vulture-looking thing.
Yep.
And I did recognize the king slime.
Yes,
but that was only because I've seen plushies for him.
Yes.
Outside of that, I'd never seen a king slime before, so this was my first time seeing a king slime. And obviously, everybody knows the dragon. How can you mistake the dragon for anything else?
That's so funny that you played the NES one, and they're still using assets all the way from the NES. It's from, like, what is that, 87? 88?
I think it said 86 when I looked it up.
Jeez. In 2020, 34 years, we're still using the same assets. Only Toriyama could get away with it, man, I'm telling you.
Well, I mean, like I said, he's got that Chrono Trigger.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when they remastered it and just had animation, just used all of his art. Tobal.
Yeah.
Which, man, I don't think they make that anymore, do they?
No, they made Tobal 1 came out internationally, and then Tobal 2, that was the one with chocobos that never came out in the States.
Yeah, I remember that one. My uncle had that as a port for the PlayStation. No, I think he had it on Dreamcast. Yeah, because he had all the systems, and he had a bunch of like burned games that you couldn't get over here. It was the first time I played the Dragon Ball games because he had them all on disc. It's like, God. Yeah, I remember that one with the Chocobo and Tobal.
Yeah.
Because you're like, was that a Chocobo? Because I think 7 was out at the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It was a good fighting game. I don't know why they stopped.
Well, they tried to get back into the FGC with Dissidia, but they dropped that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well. Oh
well. Oh well. Rest in pepperoni. And what's funny too is Chrono Trigger too. They didn't even bring him back for Chrono Cross.
Yeah, it was weird. It was a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he didn't sign the contract for sequels.
Maybe he's making all that Enix money with Dragon Quest
and remakes of Trigger, because I mean they keep coming out.
True.
Re-releasing over like PlayStation Network and Xbox Live
on your phone.
On your phone, all the remasters you can get from like the PlayStation to the PlayStation 2 and on and on. He's just working off the royalties right there.
Yeah, he never has to work a day in his life again.
No, that's why he's got somebody doing the art for Dragon Ball now.
he's actually become the Frieza memes, just all like, Toriyama should make an official sequel to Chrono Trigger, and he's just like, I think I'll ignore that.
Like I'm making enough from the royalties of just Chrono Trigger. What else? Has he done any other games other than that? Dragon Quest, Tobal, Chrono Trigger. I'm sure there might be others.
I'm sure too, but what's funny is that they would have stood out though. I mean, obviously, like what we're watching here in the background, Dragon Ball FighterZ, but. I don't know. I think those are it. I think those really are it. Chrono Trigger, Tobal, and Dragon Quest. Because I would assume that he doesn't really get a whole lot of time between Dragon Quest. Well, to be fair, too, we just said he's reusing assets, so really, I can't really think of a new Dragon Quest enemy or character that wasn't like into the original NES that's in the
Blue Dragon.
Blue Dragon. Oh.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Other than that, yeah, it's just those.
I wonder how much they paid him for that, though. When he's just like, yeah, I'm cool. And they're like, we'll give you this boat full of money. Okay. Because remember, that was Xbox exclusive.
Yeah.
So, when they were trying to be like, okay, we need the weebs to come to the Xbox, what can we do? Get that Dragon Ball guy. All right.
Alfred something.
Yeah. Man. But I will say though, I don't know if we were talking about this on the mic, but in wrapping up my thoughts on Dragon Quest, since it's going to be so long, I think we might do this once a month. And we'll just talk about chunks in 4 episodes, and hopefully we'll have more substance than me just being like, "Damn, it's a good game."
Yeah,
it's a good game because it's not Final Fantasy.
So I guess we'll have to come up with other things to talk about then.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't. I mean, there's shows that we didn't watch, like Tonikaku Kawaii. What's the other one? The Kuma
Bear.
Yeah. So there's other shows that we can be watching in the meantime,
which was pretty fun, actually.
Yeah, it looked fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Majo no Tabi Tabi.
What's that one about?
Was it? It's like the Adventures of Elena or something like that. It's a witch.
Wait, is that the one where the dude didn't want panty shots?
Yeah. It's the one where the dude didn't want panty shots.
Pass. I'd rather go have my climbing girls and their angles. They know what we're interested in.
You do get a witch in a towel, though.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. I heard about, like, in the very first episode, he's all like, no panty shots, and then they have him in the bathhouse or something, in the bath, and I was like, shut up. God. People are dumb. Ugh, frustrating.
Let's see here.
But yeah, so we got stuff, and yeah.
Yeah, there'll be more. Like I said, I picked 12 shows, and only like 6 or 7 of those are going to be reactions. So,
and I think too, if we need to do a discussion or at least a little brief talk on what you thought about Burn the Witch. So Roman did watch Burn the Witch on our last viewing party, so we'll get his feedback because, like you said, he didn't watch a whole lot of Bleach. So coming back to it now in 2020, we'll see what Roman thinks.
yeah.
So
Get to that in another episode.
yeah. I think that's it. Been at this for a minute, so
Yep.
wrapping it up.
I'll just say I'm enjoying Dragon Quest right now.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But let's just see where it goes, because I want to see what Dai's got. I want to see him go Ultra Instinct again. He's got to unlock it.
I think I'll just ignore that.
Okay.
But, all right. But yeah, cool. And I guess I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. I don't know if we'll be talking about 8 shows per podcast, or maybe we will. Well, who knows?
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. But I know that the next podcast will probably be the shows we didn't get to this time, and then we'll go from there.
Right.
Muyo no to Ryoji. October something. October 22nd?
Yeah.
October 22nd. So, in Discord. Come check it out. Yeah.
Yep, there'll be posts up on Facebook and everything.
That's all I got. And then, Roman, so are you doing what you did before, which is like, if this show doesn't get 50 views, it's on the chopping block? Is that what you're doing?
No.
Okay.
I just decided which ones were getting reactions based on views. Like, it doesn't do me any good. I'm just going to do a reaction to a show that got 20 views.
Right.
So I'll just do a review.
Okay.
I'll still watch it, just do a review for it. Everything that got, like, well, the highest views basically is getting the reaction because, people are coming in to watch them. So, yeah.
All right. Well, keep doing what you guys do. Watch the videos, like, comment, share. Tell Roman that if he buys Amelia, he should drop dead. So don't do that.
I'm used to it. With my priestess face.
You get used to it. But no, Roman did finally. I don't know if you received the statue but you did say it got shipped out to you.
The Big Amelia one?
Yeah.
No, it comes out next month.
Okay. So whoever that guy was, though, if you're listening to this, he is going to come and find you, and he's going to tag you in a post. So be ready.
Yep, it's coming.
So that demon priest resurrected him.
Sure did.
And Roman's all like, "Why'd you do that?" And I was just trying to sleep until my Amelia statue got here.
Right now, I'm gonna sand this coffin with your horns.
Why am I watching this shit? Alright.
Alrighty.
But yeah.
So, is that everything?
Yeah, join Discord. Let's do Genshin Impact at some point. Let's all get together and play on multiplayer.
Yeah.
Let's all get to Adventure Rank 15 apparently though.
Oh, that's what you gotta be at?
Yeah.
Okay, got like 10 more levels to go.
Cool.
Alright, so again, go to all the social medias. Come to the Discord, watch the viewing party next Thursday. Muyo to Ryoji, going with our Supernatural Halloween.
Yes.
And, yeah, let us know in the comments what you're thinking of this season so far. I know it's only been out for 2 weeks, but just about everything I think that's releasing is out, except for maybe what's coming out the end of the month.
Yes.
But, yeah, let us know what you're thinking of everything that's been airing. What are your favorites? Which ones are you kind of on the fence about? And which ones did you absolutely hate just from the first episode? So, yeah, let us know in the comments. And till then, we'll see you next time. So, bye.
Peace.